giant stands, a mech with heavy pants commands, each step a quake, a thunderous might, eyes aglow in the endless night. A saint beneath, dark and vast, power fierce, shadows cast, a mighty tank beneath its core, a warrior spirit, ancient lore. Welcome tainted, a lace-up tunic or medieval hoodie. Welcome tainted, let's talk about color, or should we? Welcome tainted, thinking outside the blocks. Welcome tainted, thanks for joining us, you rock. Have your fun hole rocks. Welcome tainted. Enjoy the Chronicles out that song. Welcome tainted. Thinking outside the blocks. Welcome tainted. Thanks for joining us, you rock.
All right, another Sunday, which means it's time for the Brickworld official live stream. We like to call it Think Outside the Blocks, where not only do we talk to you about thinking outside the rigid medium that is Lego, but also thinking outside your mental blocks as you explore the Lego hobby and prepare your own original creations to do things like display at Brickworld. I am your somewhat regular host, Z Cerberus. You can see that I am lined up to have a guest join me tonight, and we'll get to that in a minute here. The special guest being the Rant Queen. We'll get to who that is. But first, let's bring up our run of show because you might be wondering, where's Mark? Where's Brick Dead Builds? Where's anybody? Well, that is because they are, of course, wrapping up our expo at Indianapolis. The Brickworld Expo shows are a little bit different than the big Chicago show, and that really the whole purpose is to make display for public days as opposed to Brickworld Chicago, which is a convention where the Lego fans themselves get to do a lot of the actual production of the show, in that we put on presentations, we come up with fun games to do amongst ourselves, we have big collaborations, all kinds of stuff like that. So Mark is wrapping up the expo in Indy. Probably a few of our Tainted members are there as well, but that is where Mark is. So I decided I needed an extra special guest. We'll get to her in a moment. Then we're going to talk about Enormous Hexagons, which is the mock I'm working on right now, and maybe I'll need some help from you guys. Then we will talk about some exotic racers and Lego news. Then we'll get to March Madness, the Elite Eight. Then maybe if we still have time, we'll get to extraordinary animals. And that particular topic is about the dearth of excellent 3-in-1 creator sets. I don't know, dearth the right word. The plethora of excellent 3-in-1 creator sets we've had for animals recently. We'll talk a little bit about kind of where that started and what we think about that. Then we'll talk even split, which sounds like a bit of a 50-50 close call type thing. And then every Sunday, Mark and I should be back on the regular schedule next week. Let's see who's here in the Tainted. Brick Orphanage says hello. Rob Claxton's here. Marty Becker's here. Ralph Nader, alternate candidate, giving us a wave. VMAC apparently had some sort of interesting issue here where Sarah ended up in the hospital. Well, that is too bad. I hope Sarah is on the road to recovery. Let's see. Derby Bricks gives a wave as well. Hi, Matt. Albert Goff is here. Let's see. Hopefully tomorrow is the magic day. Fingers crossed at Rob Claxton. I don't know what that means. Is Sarah having another child, perhaps? I have no idea. But hardly matters. Zizu's here as well. Omega, too. So I guess you'll have to clue me in on that VMAC. since I seem to be a tad in the dark here. But without further ado, let's get to my extra special guest for this week's show, and that would be the rant queen herself. Let's bring her up on camera. Here she is, my most adorable co-host, coming onto the screen right about now. My daughter Mara, fresh off a VMAX says she's losing an organ. That's I guess better than or worse than gaining a child. Maybe not. But we hope everything goes well for VMAC. So my daughter here, fresh off a St. Patrick's Day party. She's dressed in green. She's got the green earrings on. We are back from our vacation that we just took to Arizona. Mara, what was your favorite part of our trip to Arizona?
Climbing the Snoopy Rock, which looks like Snoopy the dog laying down.
Yeah, so in Sedona, we climbed a trail that was called Snoopy Rock that had a shape kind of in the rock that looks like Snoopy laying on top of his doghouse. So Mara is now a big fan of hiking. But as everybody knows, anytime we have a special guest, we like to do one very specific thing, and that is talk about our closet of shame. And for anyone who doesn't know what a closet of shame is, I think the important part is to note that it's not actually necessarily shameful what sets we have in there. The shameful part is that we have a bunch of unopened Lego sets just piled up in a closet. Mara actually does have one set.
One, not the whole closet.
Not a whole closet, but she does have one set in her closet of shame.
Not closet.
Okay, it's more like a shelf of shame, I guess, right? It's up on your shelf.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, so we're going to have Mara show us what's in her closet of shame. Oh, yes, after me, of course, because she would like me to go first to show everyone how it's done. Derby Bricks asks you how you like my giant hexagons. Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
What giant hexagon?
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Jazzy Viking Bricks also saying hello. Okay, so for Closet of Shame, this is the one that Mara picked for me. This is what I had sitting in my closet. Look at this thing. So here it is.
He didn't even know he had it.
I didn't even know I had it. That is fair. It is Disney Encanto. This is the original or first, I think it's the first Madrigal House. I know for sure that I bought it on clearance, probably at Walmart, but I don't see any Walmart stickers on it. But here it is. I'm sure that I got this one out of my closet of shame or bought it because it has a lot of interesting colors, lots of interesting foliage pieces. Mara's pointing out that there's an adorable little hamster on the box.
It's actually a capybara,
or a capybara. Yeah, so this is the one that Mara thinks I should be ashamed that I still have it in there and I didn't.
No, I just like it.
Yeah, Jazzy Brick says that one looks so colorful and fun. Ralph Nader says seeing that set makes me wonder if kids ever feel they need to get into Ben's closet of shame. Do you ever feel like you need to go into my closet of shame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to steal all the animal sets.
You want to steal all the sets with animals. You are a big
I just
animal
want
fan.
the animal.
Just the animals.
Like my bear.
Oh yes, like this adorable little bear. You got to get it into the camera there.
Bear.
What's that bear from?
Friends.
From a friend set.
I think it might be mine.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the friends.
You do have more friend sets than me, and I know we also picked up some animals at Brickworld Chicago, because that's another thing at the Brickworld shows is that they do have vendors that sell parts and figures. And Mara always likes to look around for animals to add to her collection. I think Mara's favorite thing to build are pet-related builds. Like last year we built
mountains.
Yes, giant mountains full of pets or a pet store.
I still need one of those like big scenes, one of the templates.
Yeah.
To build mine on, like with this or something like that.
Yeah. L says that he wishes he had about 10 of these to part out. Yeah, I mean, you got that springish yellow green in there, sort of this the reddish, flamish red, flamish orange, or whatever color they call that, as well as the foliage pieces in a couple different colors. And the figures, not everybody's into the doll shape of the Friends lines, but they are recognizable characters at least. So who knows? All right, Mara, let's talk about what's in your closet of shame. Though you only had one thing in your shelf of shame. Why don't you pull it out so we can see?
Well, I'm in the middle of building the set. So.
She is in the middle of building the Elphaba and Glinda dorm room.
But it's like it folds into a little like cabinet.
Yes, it folds up into a little box.
Can I sew it?
Yes. Show us what was in your shelf of shame. Here it is.
We need your pictures.
Oh yes, we can see the back. This set did very well in last year's March Release Madness. This was a March 1st release last year. I know they ended up being at Costco for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks off. It is the ridiculously adorable Stitch statue. It's just called Stitch. It's got all of this couple shades. What's that?
I got the new house.
Yes, you did get the Stitch house, and you did build that.
In like 2 days.
Yep. So it's got all these different shades of blue and this adorable pose, Stitch eating the ice cream. Mara's a big fan of Stitch. So Zizu agrees. You can't not like Stitch. Indeed, you cannot not like Stitch. He is too good.
I don't understand that.
Brick Dad Builds is checking in. So hi, Brick Dad. So this is what Mara's hasn't built yet. Mara, any idea why you haven't built this one? You've just been too busy with school.
Because I just started building my other one, and then I'm building my other one, and then I'll build this one after. Okay. So next I won't have it.
Yeah.
Like
you can switch the chair over. It's a little tiny touch so people can see your whole head. There you go. So yeah, this is a great set. I don't remember if it reached the final four. It definitely reached the Elite 8, I believe, of last year's March Release Madness line. And I can understand why. It is it's a very handsome looking build for sure. And even as a parts pack, I think this is 730 pieces. I'm pretty sure that when I picked these up, they were under 50 bucks when we found them. All right, you're making a lot of funny faces today. You feeling tired?
I had 10.5 hours of sleep. Too much.
Mara got too much sleep coming home from vacation. And then yesterday we were at a basketball tournament for Miles. His team ended up coming in 4th in state.
They played today too.
So they played 2 games yesterday and 2 games today, and Mara was exhausted. Brick Dad Build wants to know, Mara, what would you rate this set on a 1 to 10 scale? What would you give it?
10,000.
A 10,000. That's a little above the outer bounds of the scale.
I got a tiny, like one of those tiny sets where it's just the character of Stitch.
Yes, you got a brick head of Stitch.
I don't know what the place is called.
Of bricks and minifigs.
But it's the whole body. It's not just the head.
That's right. Why do they call it brick heads if it's the whole body?
Exactly.
Yes, I think that sounds like a future rant for Mara. Yes.
Yeah, we need to do it today.
We need to do it today.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Well, you notice that on our show run, we didn't have a rant segment. I think there's a reason for that we'll get more into at some point. But
I always do one extra special guest. I'm rant queen, so it's like part of it. So
you are right. You are the rant queen. So because of that, and because we're on extra special guest, I think it's only fair that I let you go ahead and rant about brickheads for 1 minute. So let me get that set up for you. Put this down here. I am going to find the music and get you a 1 minute timer that you can look at. Because if you're going to have the rant queen on the show, you might as well get her to rant. And I think everybody knows this particular song because it's one of our favorites. But in case anybody didn't, we'll play Mara's Orange Spaceships while I get her set up. Here we go.
Daddy Ben, oh he loves his space. Lego ships in orange all in place. But Mara sighs, they're all the same. And why that beard, it's just a shame. Orange ships, computers galore. Mara dreams of something more. In Legoland, where dreams take flight. Orange or not, they'll get it right. Daddy, your ships are lame. All of them look the same. And your beard, such a disgrace. Maybe just one short hair on your face.
I spend too much time working on them.
And sometimes you just don't do them because you want,
Yeah.
And your beard.
And my beard.
And your mustache.
I'll get back in the photo so everyone can see.
Ugh.
All right.
It should be more like one of those French ones that is in the movies, like squirrels.
Like a little villain mustache?
Yes, you need that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mara. Thanks for the rant.
Or you just need
Good
one
job.
little hair.
It takes too long for you to build them. Focus, get it done, concentrate. Daddy Ben, one more word about your beard. Come on, Daddy, it's so weird.
And they don't have different size ranges, which they should. And they all have computers and it's disgusting.
Orange spaceships, make it end. Listen, friend, it's not a trend. Orange beard, that's the trend. Make it happen. I love you, Daddy Ben. I love you, Daddy Ben.
All right, there we had it. The Rant Queen's original rant that put her on the map, complaining about Daddy's beard and his orange spaceships
And his mustache.
and my mustache.
So you just need to-
Yes, I need one of those French villain mustaches. Brickhead Builds has one of those. You should see his beard, his mustache.
Lying.
He does. Okay,
I
but
think you're lying.
but Mara, because you're the Rant Queen and you insisted, we will let you rant about brickheads. I'm going to start the music.
First you look at
Let's be quiet for a second. All right. All right, the music is going. I'm going to turn it down just a little tiny touch. Okay, here's the 1 minute timer. When you're ready to go, press start and rant about brickheads. Gotta get a sip of water first, everybody. This is big. All right, press the start button. Let's go.
So why are they called brickheads if they're not just heads? I mean, they have heads, but what if there's a head character? I mean, I've never seen one, but what if? And if they're brickheads, shouldn't they be called like brick thingies? Brick minifigs that aren't actually minifigs because I don't think they're actually minifigs. They're usually like movie characters or show characters. Like, yes, like him. Like Mr. Incredible. Not a Disney character. So that's my rant so far, and I think that it's stupid, no offense to whoever built it or whatever. And the inside of my Stitch is pink and black, which doesn't make sense because Stitch is blue. Straight blue except the inside of his mouth. Even the stripes on him are dark blue. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, that is the end of our timer. Mara really wanted to make a point there that they're called brickheads, but it's the entire body. What do you think we should call these things instead of brick heads? They do have oversized heads, but
Brick
they
bodies.
do have bodies.
Brick bodies.
Are brick characters? Or
Brick characters.
brick
Yes.
characters? That's not as catchy. Oh, careful. Maybe brick built or brick
Figures.
figures. I mean,
I like
that's
brick figures. Brick heads is just.
yeah. Maybe it's kind of they were trying to capture like the idea of a bobblehead, and so they're like, "Oh, we'll
Yeah,
call
why
them."
are bobbleheads called bobbleheads? They have bodies.
But their heads bob. And these guys' heads are made of bricks, but I understand you're
so
right.
are their bodies.
Yeah, they have an entire body. So that's a very
And what color is the
very good
inside of his
question.
body?
Well, actually, what's interesting about brickheads is when you take them apart, they have like pink inside their head that's like
They're
supposed to look like a
Are they
brain.
like always where they're supposed to have?
Something like that. Alternate candidates suggest maybe they could call them brick pops, like a Funko Pop.
Oh, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I feel like they'd sue us.
Yeah. Alternate candidate says that funny, even when Dad has a run of show, everyone knows Mara is the run of show. Mara chooses what we do today.
I do.
Mara's not going to be with us all night, but she's going to be with us
Boo.
for a little bit here.
I'll be with you as long as I want to.
As long as you want to. Well, next thing on our run of show, usually at about this point, we start talking about what we're building. Now, of course, I was on vacation all last week, so I didn't have a ton of time to do building. We did find some minifigure wolves in Arizona, including Sedona. We found a full box. We found all three,
Page.
and some in Page, Arizona as well. Yes, but we always, before we show what we're building, we play a walk-up song. And of course, you can always like and subscribe to the stream, especially if you are a fan of Mara Rants and you want her around more.
I will gladly come.
She will gladly come, yes. She's maybe not the biggest Lego fan in the entire world, but she does love Brickworld. She loves going to Brickworld. She loves building with Dad.
I might be late this year.
Yes,
Because of my brother.
You might come a little later this year because of your brother. But before any of that, we always play a walk-up song. And today we'll go with
I'm walking.
Here we go with this one here that Mark wrote for me. Ben's walk-up song. Here we go.
Who's this kicking it with a new mob? New mob. New mob. New mob. Yeah. Will we get a chunky match? Will we get computer tech? An orange spaceship so sleek? Does he hate castles this week? Does the new mech have a wicked team? Has the castle from last week been reshaped? Has he built 5 or 10? Welcomes the Cerberus Daddy Ben. Yeah! Jump to 5 men! Computer tech!
Okay, so I promised an extra large hexagon, and we have one. Mara, this is my hexagons.
I've seen them before, but and answering the question earlier, I think they're kind of oversized.
They're kind of oversized. Well, so this is the next size up. We've had the small hexagon, which we've called the smexagon. We've had the medium hexagon, which we called the mexagon. And then we have the large hexagon here, which we call the lexagon.
It should be huge hexagon, so you can just call it the hexagon.
Or the huge hexagon, maybe? I don't know. So this one of the ideas here, you can see my other smaller hexagons, right? You can see kind of the idea of how much smaller a small hexagon is than a large hexagon.
What about a medium hexagon?
Yeah, this is one of the small ones. Then we have a medium one over there.
Well,
Medium one is this one here. Pull the big one up onto her. Luckily, it's Lego, and we can fix that later. But until then, you can get an idea of the difference in size
call
between
that,
the
like,
medium and the large.
the whale size hexagon.
Yeah, the whale size hexagon, the wexagon.
No,
Wahexagon.
hexagon.
Wahexagon.
Because it's like ginormous compared to medium.
Yes.
You should make a large. Not that. That's not a large.
You don't
A
think this
large-
one's
A
large?
large is smaller.
You think this one's bigger than what I should consider a large?
Yes, it is called large.
A large, yes. But there we have it.
Large.
Now, the other thing about this hexagon, as you can tell, is I'm trying to change seasons, going from sort of this fall look that I have going now over to more of a summer or spring look, probably summer.
What about the middle one?
with the green. This one's also a fall look, sort of with the more olive muted tones. Though I'm struggling a bit with the colors because I haven't used these as much. I feel like I need some more coloration to break some of this up. It's still early, as you can tell. This is mostly structural, and I don't have everything done. Yeah.
You say you could do the fall to the summer.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be the summer to the fall technically?
Right. So we need.
Right.
I built the fall ones though, so I need to build some summer ones, some winter ones, and some spring ones. Right. So we can kind of change seasons as we move through the mocks. But I am just not in love with this more green shade. I find it harder to match colors on this. For example, the olive green and the dark tan seem to match really well together. They go well together, and I can throw in this nougat color as well. And I really like it. With the green, I struggle a little more to add another color. I could try the sand green, perhaps, or I could try the brighter green, but I really don't like the bright green. I guess it works okay for like areas worn away on a mock, but I'm not sure that I like it as well here. Sarah DeRossa says, "Hello, everyone. Thank you for the prayers and thoughts. Apparently, you're having an organ removed. I was unaware. Maybe that came up last week and I missed it, but everyone seems to be aware of that. So best of luck there. Though she does always love watching Mara run the show. Well, she runs the house, so she might as well run the show too, right?
I do run the house even though I'm the youngest.
Even though you're the youngest. So let me ask your opinion, and of course, the Tainted can chime in as well. What is a good color complement here besides the brown and the green to try to make this look not quite as bland and boring? What ideas would you have?
First, I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to tell everybody this is darker in real life than on this screen.
Okay, yeah, it's a little darker in real life than on this screen.
Yeah. And I think a color that would go really good with it is pink.
Pink?
Pink goes good with the green.
Pink goes good with green. Yeah, they are complementary colors. Though if I'm trying to build something that kind of looks like grass and mud.
Okay, brown.
Yeah, I do have the brown here. And I do have a little bit of a dark brown. What other colors could I try? I could try some dark tan. I could try something else. Dark blue? Okay.
Make like water.
Oh, for water, yeah.
Water, it looks nice. Or the clear light blue, you know that?
Yes, I've done that. Clear light blue.
That looks nice. Or this teal right here.
Yeah, sort of that teal color. Yeah. I don't think any of those are quite right for what I'm doing for landscape.
You were asking me.
That's true. We were on a black. We were on a hike in Arizona.
Yes.
And we had that landscape there. What other colors did you see in nature when we were there?
Brown.
They had a lot of browns and tans.
And blues.
They had
January
blues.
January blues.
I didn't see a lot of blue when I was up there.
The January blueberries.
January blueberries.
The
juniper blueberries?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, that's part of it is I could not worry so much about the coloration and add more foliage, like plants to it.
What about dark yellow?
Dark yellow. Okay, so like a tan color.
Tan is yellow, not this color, but more tan. But that's this color,
like a regular tan, like this color?
No, a brownish orange.
A brownish orange.
That's what I mean.
Dark orange.
I like this color.
Let me see. Yes, dark orange.
I like dark orange.
But, it's kind of what I'm trying to get away from, Mars, because
it goes good.
I understand that, but this is already using those fall colors. I want to try to use some like summer or spring colors.
With the normal blue, like the zebra and red queen one, you can see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Like how it looks like here, not how it looks like here. And ooh, I like this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's nothing quite like that in Lego. Mara is referring to this darker, deeper orange, deeper
No, I
yellow
like
color
the yellow.
on my Zevia can here. And Lego doesn't quite have like this mustard yellow color yet, like the Dijon mustard yellow.
Hey Lego, can you please make that?
Yeah, I think that would be a color that a lot of people would like.
Please, Lego, please.
Yeah, I think we would go lighter than dark tan.
Lighter.
Dark tan here.
Dark tan.
But more of a Dijon mustard color. I think that would be a good color to have in general.
Darker than this. The yellow in this cadet.
Let's see. Sarah says I like more foliage because summer is in full bloom. So yeah, we could go that route as well.
What about just what about like the I like this color.
Oh yeah, sand green. Yeah, Mars pulling some sand green as well. Ralph Nader says, as someone who loves hiking and nature walks, I'm often surprised when looking closely at the browns, often reds and purples mixed. I'm not sure if that can be accomplished in Lego though. Yeah, I'll tell you right now. When I was in the Southwest, in Arizona, when we were in Arizona, a lot of the foliage and colors in the desert were really attractive to me. The rocks in particular had a lot of reddish hues that we don't use a lot of in Lego. There was this big waterfall collaboration called the Oasis that Eurobricks did at Brickworld a few years ago, where the mountain was built with colored layers, including a reddish orange layer, which really did stick out very nicely. So it is a color palette I would like to use. The one issue I have with it at this moment is that color palette probably fits better in either a desert setting, which, I could do something in a deserty type setting, or a fall type setting, where now I'm trying to transition to summer or spring or a lighter color. Yes, Mara?
Well, technically, a lot of places are hot and they have deserts, and especially during the summer, so we could do a desert summer.
I could do a desert build, and maybe that's a good idea.
Do you have any camels?
I do have some camels, yeah.
Camels.
Yeah.
And the goats.
Camels and goats, yeah, and you can use
donkeys.
The dark tan and the tan colors for the sand, and then sort of the brown and the dark orange for some of the rocks and some of the interesting layers that they have in the Southwest. But this is really all the farther I got. I've been working on manufacturing these hexagons, but as you can see on the bottom side here, they're kind of a pain in the butt with all the layering to get the hexagon shape. So they're not super fast to build. So they always take far more time to do the hexagon base than a regular base. But of course, the benefit is, and we already know this, that the whole idea is that I can modularly add, existing building parts to it to extend it. So we're adding a fall tree to it. Of course, we'll have more options as we move along. We can also, of course, add our forge that we're working on the back side here. So we can do all kinds of things to sort of combine this as we work through the hexagon idea. But yeah, the summer's kind of where I'm stuck, and maybe this is just it's too early to have an opinion about how I should mix the colors, but I'm just not ready for it yet. Let's see here. Sarah asks, are you going for desert or forest? Because those are going to have different palettes. Yes, this one is more of a summer foresty look, but I was just talking about how our recent trip to the Southwest really gave me an idea on what I might want to do for some future rock work that's incorporating more than just kind of the boring, I guess I'll say, dark gray. There are lots of other color choices out there, especially in places like Arizona, for large rock work. There's sandstone and other types of rock that have a very different look. Let's see here. Aldrin Candidate says, my thought was primarily trying to achieve color by combining a couple or a few colors using small pieces. Yeah, and that is it. I mean, there can be some dark red and brown and try to mix it together to achieve a look within a plant. I think a lot of times the brighter pops get missed. There are trees out there, for example, that are a very light color. Sometimes even bushes that exist all the time that have very bright colored flowers and leaves. And we sort of miss some of the brighter colors just looking at the muted tones the whole time. All right, Mara's getting bored of this topic. So let's move on then. Normally we get a little deeper into the show before we're able to move on to the Lego news, but we might have a bit more of an abbreviated show with just me, though we do have two topics that I would like to get to. Mara's still here, though. She's still feeling excited. So we're going to go into the Lego news. And I titled this bit of news Exotic Racers, because we have two racers to talk about. And then we're also going to talk about Bricklink Designer Series 7, which was just released recently, the finalists. And I do have some interesting opinions on some of that. Let's also hear what Mara has to say on some of it. But the first thing we're going to start with is our exotic racers. And so here's the first one. Here it is. So this one is still in the rumor mill, though I do fully believe that this will be an official Lego set. It is a Too Fast, Too Furious Honda S2000 in pink. And it looks like it has a bunch of stickers. Shocker. But a very interesting look. Now, Mara, you used to be a big fan of pink. You're not so much anymore. What do you think of this set, though? Does it appeal to you? Do you think it looks good? Yeah.
Is that a girl driving?
It is a girl driving the car, yep. It's probably a specific character from Too Fast, Too Furious. You like all the stickers on it? Yeah, the girl on the side in particular, it's kind of a cool sticker. It's 300 pieces. I believe all the Speed Champions now are essentially selling for $28, $26.99, $27. So $27 for 300 pieces isn't the worst. Alternate candidate suggests that the driver is named Yuki, which is probably 100% true. I don't specifically recall watching Too Fast, Too Furious. My understanding is they're up to what? 10? Didn't they have Fast X or something? Maybe they even have 11 of these movies. I think I stopped after the first one, so I know there are more, and I know they got crazier and more elaborate with time. But I only really recall the first run with Dom's Charger and Paul Walker, of course, being in the movies. After that, I don't even know. So here's the first one. It's still in the rumor mill, as I said. It's very pink. Lego's been sort of latching on to this dark pink color a bit more lately. They did the Flamingo 3-in-1 as well. So they have been sort of experiencing more in this pink realm. But our other exotic racer is what Lego has announced, and that is the Mario Kart and Mario and Standard Kart. The Mario Kart, Mario and Standard Kart set. It was released or announced on March 10th, which they now call Mario Day. So I believe that was last Tuesday, March 10th, MAR, and then 10, IO, Mario.
That was Monday.
Was it Monday?
6 days ago. Or maybe Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we'll have to have a fact check as to when March 10th was. But regardless, they announced this particular set after we did our stream last week. It is Mario and this one. Alternate likes the UCS Mario Kart set. I don't know if we'll call it the UCS Mario Kart set, but that's kind of what it feels like. Take a look at all the pictures. I will say that looking at this, there are some interesting build techniques and maybe even some interesting pieces that sort of have come out of this, especially on Mario's face. We have this mustache looking plate that he has there. Also, the ears look like they have a tile that I don't know that we've seen. Maybe we have seen it. It's like a quarter circle combined with a 1x2 plate. Not a quarter circle, a half circle combined with a 1x2 plate that forms the ear here. And then we also have this big piece that's the nose. I don't know if that's a new piece or a piece on the sideways. Let's see here. That nose piece is going to be problematic. Yeah, it could be. Kind of based on its shape and how it looks. I don't know exactly how that's built. But maybe we can get a couple other views of it here. So you can see Mario in the standard cart on a stand with a kind of 15-degree tilt. That's sort of the action tilt that everybody goes with on these. Here he is driving the standard cart. You like his gloves?
No, I'm saying like he does the gloves with like a weird shape right there.
Yeah, looks like there's some interesting shape up in his hair as well. Back here.
That's the weird shape.
Kind of some interesting stuff and some interesting bits for his shoulders and arms. Some interesting shaping for his hat. Looks like it's just a lot of red pieces to form that hat. Lots of curves. Some of the newer curves. Got ourselves a lifestyle shot here. Looks like the stand here, he's tilted up instead of to the side. So you might be able to rotate that stand for a couple of different poses, whether you want the wheelie pose here or the action shot pose with it sort of banking left or right. This guy's really enjoying building it here. There we get a better shot or a better look at the nose piece. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit on it. That's all the farther we can do. So zoom in, I get to 150, and then it cuts out on me here. But that nose piece looks interesting. I don't know if it's how it's connected or what it looks like compared to the mustache. I'm really not sure. So we're gonna have to get a good idea of what that nose piece is as we move on. There's Mario, very excited. Hopefully he came in first. Mara thinks that the thumb looks a little odd. It is definitely that pure fleshy color that some people kind of have a visceral reaction to, and I don't know why. All right, here we go. Lifestyle shot. These are always marking my favorite things to make fun of. Mara, what do you see in this picture that looks a little weird?
It looks small.
He looks small in this picture.
His pedal. It looks like it's screwed in.
Yeah.
It looks like it's screwed in. It does.
Now, what I see here is they've got a hand. I like that you pose to do drawing with. And
that's what I said.
Yeah, then they have a number of interesting scissors and Sharpies and pens and pencils. And then some sort of crazy radio in the back there, or maybe a TV. I don't know what that's supposed to be. And as always, or as is typical now, all the books have the spines turned the wrong way, so you can't read what any of the books are.
Because they're not wheel. Is that a wheel picture?
Let's see here. Alternate candidate says it's listed on some sites. Looks to be about as bad as you would think. He's talking about the nose, that is. Joking aside, it could be an interesting piece. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what other colors it'll come in or how else it will be used or proposed to be used, but it is definitely an interesting shape that we haven't seen a lot of. And now we've moved our Mario Kart. He's like in some sort of brick-built alcove on top of a blank box, as well as some random headphones in here. These are definitely some of the more ridiculous lifestyle shots we've seen in a little bit of time. What do you think of those boxes, Mars? Oh, yeah.
Are those boxes? Are they boxes?
Are they books? Are they boxes? Yeah, they're definitely boxes. They're pretty silly.
What about those?
Yeah, there are a whole bunch of boxes. Jesse's Brick Galaxy is checking in as well. We've also got the poster art down on the floor here, plus a fern, because you always need to have some oversized plant.
Why does the fern have like a banana?
Yeah, it always does. And they have one of the lifestyle shots here on the back of the box. I'm also curious about this oversized Mario logo here. That looks like a 6x6 round plate or round tile. I know I've seen something similar to that had 4 studs in the middle of it that was wider like this. I don't specifically recall seeing a 6x6 plate like this before. I'm assuming that this is printed though with the big Mario M on it, so makes it a little less useful, but it might be a cool piece that we'll start seeing pop up here and there. Again, maybe I'm missing it and there are that it's in 50 sets already, but I don't really recall. Let's see here. Alternate builds. Alternate candidate says, in general, I believe new molds generally require at least 3 usages upon design. So I would imagine there will be a few things that might work with the nose and mustache pieces that we're seeing here. They seem like they're. The nose itself is just sort of a big rounded over piece. I could see it being used as any sort of rounded over decorative element in any number of colors. Though the mustache, I mean, it's kind of odd, and it curls up at the end. So how does it, connect and fit with other plates? I just don't know.
I think that the M, first it's there too. It's like a sticker, but it's like cut off. And the M you can see in 50 other sets because there's at least 50 of these. 50 other sets.
That's true. There are at least 50 Mario Karts that they'll make, so they'll use it at least 50 times. I do, kind of based on what I'm seeing here, I do suspect that this build is going to be all printed and not stickers for both the Mario M on the hat, because it's a curved piece in multiple directions, as well as the printing on these radar dish pieces that make up the wheel hubs. Nope, nothing happened. We're fine. So this is probably not going to be stickers. So you're probably forced to have your 6x6 round tile have an M on it right now until they produce it in other sets. And again, maybe I'm just making it up, but I don't recall that piece being in any other set. I would also note, though, that let's get a good look at those back, the back exhaust ports. Yeah, those might not be new. It looks like, based on the parts. Yeah, I can't quite tell if there are new pieces in the back there. Yeah. Alternate candidate also says, yeah, I believe they're all printed, but not 100% sure. The big circle tile with the M is printed for sure, though. Yeah, I mean, I think that one is printed. Wonder a little bit about this black piece in the back. Yeah.
What about the gloves?
The gloves, yeah, those also look like they're probably printed. So I kind of get the feeling that this is all printed, and that includes the eye pieces and the ear pieces, which is a bit of a shame. I know a lot of people say they prefer printing to stickers, but it does limit, especially in a set like this where we're getting several new pieces, some of the usefulness of those parts if they're locked in with a print on them. And I know people can still find ways to use the pieces even with the prints on them, but kind of based on the fact that there are several new pieces, I wish they were stickers so that the parts would have more universal appeal. So yeah, not quite sure what this exhaust piece is on here. It might be a newish piece that I'm not familiar with. A number of interesting sloped pieces on the legs as well. So we'll just have to see when the reviews start popping up, among other things, how exactly this is designed. The price $170 for 1,972 pieces. So the price isn't ridiculous. It looks like there's a lot of fairly large pieces as well, so that's a little surprising. Alternate candidate says, of course, we can always wait 6 months and then hit up Pick a Brick to get the pieces and see what they look like as well. Mara asks why it's 18 plus. Well, they usually have 18 plus for one of two reasons. One, because they have something in the set that's not appropriate for children. I don't think that's the case here. Or two, they believe that the techniques involved in building are too advanced for young kids.
I'm not young.
My 9-year-old says she's only half that old, but she could definitely build this set.
Yeah, if I was like 2, I could build that.
Yeah.
That looked easy.
It looks easy. Well, I mean,
E for easy set.
it might be a little complicated. They do have interesting angles here, like the legs and the steering column and the curvature down here. So there are probably a number of advanced techniques. I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but that's the kind of idea that you run into with these.
Okay, but this is printed and you can use it.
Yep.
So
Mara's playing with Dot the Snake, one of our live stream mascots here.
And if you went to Brickworld last year, it was in the tank of Button the Turtle.
Yeah, it was in our tank with Button the Turtle as well. All right, let's take a look at the Bricklink designer programs as well.
What's that?
We ignore that one because it's spam. Okay, so our 5 Series 7 finalists were just revealed. Notice that crowdfunding doesn't start until February 1st, 2026. So you have to wait almost a full year before you have any opportunity to get any of these. This is sort of a bizarre mix of things this time around. We have a sushi restaurant from Brick Project. We'll start with that one here. It's got some nice colors. It's probably something I would be interested in for the pieces themselves. There's also a tram, it looks like, on the backside, or a small train of some variety. So this is a very cute build. I like the colors. Looks like it's semi-modular or opens up.
Water coming out, so that would be a cool piece to have.
Yep, it's got a little bit of a water pump down here that Mara's recognizing.
And the newspaper.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of small little parts on this.
Huh?
Yeah, these are
Japanese.
various Japanese words for some of the stuff in here that we don't understand as much. Yeah. There's some more easy to recognize words that we recognize here: antenna, futon, bonsai tree, bamboo spout.
Antenna.
So yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Traditional
iron fire pit as well in the sushi restaurant. So I like this one for sort of the design and the coloration. Hopefully it's not too expensive because I'm not sure I will pick it up if it's, tipping the scales at $200 or something. Yeah, that might be a little extreme for me. Okay, so current series. The second one, we'll get to the two that, of course, I'm most interested in next. Second one is this cute little robot. Let's see, alternate candidate says, I encouraged the Mara build. As a kid, I was weird and looked at the age suggestions as upper limits. So for me, 9+, and I was 9, that meant it was too old. I was too old for the set. Like I said, I was a weird kid. Yeah. Now they've gone Ralph Nader, I would imagine at the time it probably said like 6 to 9 versus 9+. Now they've done that, kind of gone away with the range and gone with the plus, and done this whole idea of adults welcome and whatever else. Mara likes Walt. He has 6 alternate faces. He's a cute little robot. Mara wants a Walt.
I want a Walt. Give me a Walt.
Outside of the fact that he's relatively cute with expressive eyes. Yeah, what do you think of the hard eyes there?
I like it, but I like the turquoise the best.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he looks like he's got batteries in his back there. Little brick built batteries. It's kind of a nice little Easter egg.
I like the big eyes.
You like the big eyes and sort of the chonky legs and feet. There's his alternate faces. So there's 6 of them, including a blank. 6 alternate faces.
It's when he's out of battery, like when you take the batteries out.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like you can pull his whole face structure out there. Looks like there's possibly a light brick in here, but maybe not. No, maybe it's just some
like my light brick here.
Translucent pieces.
Like my light brick?
Like your light brick, yeah, that you're working on there. So there's Walt the little robot. I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me, is the Walt from something? Is it an existing idea? He does have WALT, which maybe stands for something. I can probably read down into the whole thing. Meet Walt, your new desk buddy. Only 663 pieces. 17 points of articulation. 7 different faces. Small battery compartment, we saw that. Looks like maybe it's not specifically from something. But he's cute. Mara's a fan.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Disney used to make a movie out of this.
Okay.
But like animated, not as Lego, but like Walt is adorable.
Yeah. Brickdead Build wants to know if he can join. You certainly can, Brickdead Builds. Albert Goff says restaurant would be a great draft set. Yeah, I think the colors are really attractive on this. Let's see the part count here. Oof, it's 3,409 pieces. So because of that, we are talking about a fairly expensive set. 718 unique parts. So it looks like we're using a lot of parts several times.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere.
All right, Mars.
I'll be right back though.
Don't knock anything over.
I'm coming back though.
All right. So that's what we have for the part count on this. Yeah, it would be a good draft set, Al. You're right, but oof, it would be expensive to get into this. Probably, we're probably talking $250, right, or $300, unless they can trim down those total number of parts. Walt Cool, but I have no idea what it's from or if it's an original idea. Yeah, I suspect it's an original idea based on the way it was described. I don't know what Walt stands for because they had all the little dots in there for whatever WALT is. Could have been in there if I'd read it anything other than relatively quickly. But that's where we were on that. All right, so current series again. The last one we'll get to before kind of maybe the more obvious ones or the ones that I would normally see the most. And that would be this one, the Antique Collection. Brick Orphanage, though, says, I'm definitely getting the sushi restaurant. Yeah, I mean, it's got good parts, no question. I just have a feeling it's going to be expensive. And I don't know, I might struggle, especially with the fact that they limit the number of sets they produce. That always makes them more scarce and really ups the cost on them. Brickdad, do you have the link already, or do you need me to send you something? If you need me to send you something, it'll take me a second to figure that out. But I undoubtedly can do it. I'll just need to know where to send it. Okay, so let's take a look at the antiques. So it's a big chair and a very large cabinet based on the fact that you can see some minifigures in there. Send an invite, he says. Okay. Give me a second to do that while we take a look at this here. I might play a song in a minute and then I'll send it to you somewhere. Probably on Discord, Rick Dad. It's probably where I can figure it out. So here we have all of the antiques in here. I'm not sure who has an antique skull in their antique cabinet, but I see a goat and a monkey and a number of other odd tchotchkes. I'm not sure how many of these are antiques as much as they're just weird. Let's see here. Alternate candidate says something about the antique collection, not my usual type of set, but for some reason I really like it. Yeah, okay. It's really big. I mean, I guess that's sort of the thing I would find about this. Parts wise, it's 1,400 parts, 313 unique. So there are a lot of parts that go into building the cabinet itself. It's not as hideous from behind as that Parisian restaurant. And I kind of like the pumpkins and the frogs up top. It has some nice touches there. Looks like it's dark orange, and brown and dark brown. So they're all colors that I like. But I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Let's see here. Brick Dad Bill suggests it would go well with those large Disney dress sets. Maybe. That's a possibility for it. Al says, I'd like to build the cabinet full size. Yeah, I mean, it is. How much bigger do you need than this one? It's obviously way above minifig scale. I kind of want to get an idea based on the minifigure in the cabinet itself, how chonky and big this thing really is. I don't know that you can get a full appreciation for it without seeing something near it. Last year for Brickworld, the Eurobricks group did a mansion that used one of Lego's various theme. We built a murder mystery set using these Lego dolls that they produced that were a certain large scale. And maybe those things that would fit well in here. I don't think it was Belleville. What was the name of that murder mystery we had, Mara?
You build it.
For some reason, it's on the tip of my tongue. Someone can remember what they were. But Lego did go with this sort of classic doll shape that had a number of, they weren't minifigs, they weren't mini dolls, they were actual dolls that we scaled up. For some reason, I'm forgetting the name. I think it starts with it's not Belleville. Let's see here. I think in the level they say it's 11 inches tall. In the reveal, they said it was 11 inches tall. Yeah, so almost a foot tall. That's pretty big. Scala, yes, thank you, Brick Dad Build. It's the Scala figures. So I wonder how a Scala figure would fit with this. Maybe it's perfect for that. Let's see here. Let's get a look down here at some of this. This is an antique cabinet with a long history. Wooden cabinet displayed with antique collections such as dolls, fossils, old tools. You can display it as is, but you can also put minifigures and your favorite parts inside. Consists of about 1,471 pieces. I hope you like it. So yeah, there's not a lot in the description here, but there you go. Brick Dad Build suggests maybe it's 3/4 baby size. Who knows? Let's see here. Brick Orphanage says, definitely get that. Just not sure what I could come up with that would be much better than the set. Plus, I'm lazy a lot of the time, so following the instructions can be relaxing. I mean, there's always that. Let's see. Not a fan of the antique collection, but can't wait for the antique shop in Series 5. So there you go. Yes, 3/4 Barbie size, not 3/4 baby size. Yeah, so the Scala guys were sort of 3/4 Barbie size probably. So it might fit well with the Scala figure. I'm not sure. But that could be interesting. Okay, I'm going to send Brick Dad an invite before we talk about these last two. So while I'm doing that and getting everything ready, we can play a song. Mara, what song do you think would be a good one? Do you think we should do Daddy Ben So Ohio? That's the Miles Chagrin song. Yes. Okay, here we go.
Remember that time Ben brought Miles in. Didn't tell him nothing, it's just about your chagrin.
You know what chagrin means?
I forgot.
Okay. Chagrin means like something that embarrasses you. What do I do more than anything else that embarrasses and angers you?
Miles looks suspicious as he should have been. You just can't trust that troll, Daddy Ben. Miles, check out my fit. Daddy Ben grins. Got that Sigma 5 from your daddy's got the wrist. Miles throws an elbow, wants to hide under a rock. Stop, he laughed, just go build a mock. Let him cook, Daddy Ben went on. Check out the wrist of the fit he's got on. Do all these words mean cool? The trolling badass. No, Miles answered, this chagrin was a trap. Daddy Ben shrugs. Then what do they mean? Knock it off, Dad. This just isn't your scene.
Miles, you got the fit on today.
Ah.
Are you gonna say skibbity? Are you gonna say
Sigma?
Daddy Ben's so Ohio, he thinks he's got the wrist. Every time he shifts me, I roll my eyes and cringe. He says whatever he wants, which I guess is kinda stigma. But he's being a dork and I just don't need this stigma. Why would Ben do this? It just isn't nice. Maybe he got some terrible advice. Let this be a lesson. Avoid these Scorpio plotters. Never feed the troll. And you can't trust the honor.
But he thinks that I'm not allowed to know. Like,
Right.
let him cook. He says I can't know what that means. He says cat.
No, I said mom can't know.
Oh, mom can't know what that
Mom
means.
doesn't know what that means. I don't know how to explain it.
Right. I can't talk about his fit, his clothes that he's wearing. I can't ship him with anybody. These are things that I can't do. Right.
Daddy Ben is so Ohio, he thinks he's got the wrist. Every time he shifts me, I roll my eyes and cringe. He says whatever he wants, which I guess is kinda stigma. But he's being a dork and I just don't need this stigma. Daddy Ben is so Ohio. Hey, hey, Daddy Ben is so Ohio. Hey, hey, Daddy Ben is so Ohio. Hey, hey.
All right. And I've got to add Brick Dad to the stage here. Looks like he's in a hotel room, probably in Indy.
I am. Yeah, we just completed the show, finished up putting everything away and getting everything restored into the U-Hauls for transportation. I'm
Right.
actually in the lobby from Indianapolis, so figured I'd join you and see what we got going on today.
Yeah. How was the show? How did it feel?
It was phenomenal. It was 100% better than last year. Our attendance was, I want to say, about 7,500 for the weekend. So we had a very steady, strong group of people come through, very interactive. Everybody was loving the displays coming in. Retail was great. It was a wonderful weekend for everybody, for sure.
All right.
Weather was definitely better than up northern Midwest. We had a little bit of rain, so it definitely helped people want to come in and enjoy it some more. So
Yeah.
it was good. It was good. A lot of great displays, some new stuff, and like Al was saying earlier about the furniture thing and the building it full size. If you guys are not familiar with Al's builds, he builds amazing furniture. So that furniture set there, I could definitely see something like that possibly in the future for him.
Even bigger.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Mara wanted to verify that you indeed have the mustache with the little.
I
little
do. It's
handlebar
actually
action. Look at
it's actually a little soft this evening because it's been a very long day. But yes, I do have the
Yes.
handlebar mustache here.
Yeah, we do have the handlebars going. Okay,
So
so the last two sets that we have running on the Series 7 are probably the two I'm most interested in, just based on my history with Lego and where I started. 4,000 pieces and one sticker. Interestingly, I don't know that I've seen one sticker promoted on there before.
I would assume the sticker is going to be on the stern for a ship name, possibly.
Yeah, I guess it's probably the Fortuna, I would guess. We'll probably roll around to that. And did they list the minifigs? They don't say. Let's see. 12 minifigures.
That's a good amount of minifigs for a set that size.
Yeah, 4,000 pieces. And I think they have suggested ranges for number of minifigures. But I think pretty clearly this one is an all brick built hull, which definitely ups the pieces. They did all brick built in the set they just produced, the last ship as well. So they seem to be really going in on this brick built hull idea now.
Correct. Yeah,
also
the
brick
last
built
3-in-1 pirate ship was a brick built as well.
Yeah.
So
as was the Viking ship. So they're starting to
correct.
really
Yes.
get rid of the prefabbed hulls and go with other building techniques here. So we got a nice dark blue color scheme on the back, which is pretty typical of ships in that time frame. They really did like dark blue and red, dark red as primary colors for some of the countries.
Now this is new. This is a first for me. I haven't seen these yet. I literally just saw the post that these were selected and stuff. So I haven't had a real good chance to review these yet. Did those sails look like they're brick built sails, or is that a
100% brick built?
100% brick built? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Which I don't know how to feel about that. Lego's done plenty of cloth ones, but obviously this is a Bricklink designer program, so they don't really have
very true. Yeah,
access to that kind of thing. So what do? So they are brick built on here. Maybe that'll change in the final version. Hard to say, but they do have to be elements that you can buy on Shop at Home. That's like one of the requirements.
correct. Yeah.
So,
I will say that one thing I do like that I'm seeing right here is that the sails are not large, full, open sails, but actually rolled up canvas, rolled up brick sails like that. I definitely like that aspect a lot better than having the open sails for this being a brick built.
Yeah, I think it saves on weight and on pieces and on your ability to see inside. They did go with the brick bolt kind of billowing open sail on that last pirate ship. So
correct. Yeah.
Let's see here. Yashua says the sails are disappointing, but the stern or the butt looks great. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of sloped down in the back and it has some curvature to it. So it has some nice design elements for sure. And here it is with a little rowboat off to the side. Can't say that I love this backdrop. But
good point. Yeah, it's not the most flattering for a pirate ship or for a not pirate ship, but for a ship of the age. So yeah.
Looks like they've got some pretty decent rigging on this. I'm not sure how this mast built out of all of the barrels is going to hold up. I'm assuming they've got some very long Technic axles running through this as well.
I've seen several off-brand builds that have used that technique, and they do very much stick the axle, very long axles through them, or they'll do them in segments. So,
yeah, it kind of gives it a strange texture. I'm not sure that I'm the biggest fan of it, but Al's laughing at the comment that it has a nice butt. Yeah. This technique here, though, with sort of the partial and then the bowsprit attached to it. This is bowsprit attached to it. This is fairly accurate, actually, as to how they did these designs. Same thing with this, where they have the mast going up through the middle part there, and then another timber for the mast to extend strapped to it. That was actually how they did it as well. So some accuracy, or some more accuracy compared to the Lego stuff here.
I do like the blue and gold accent on there with the red cannon ports. It gives
Yeah.
a good pop of color to it.
Yeah, and then the dark red railing. I'm not sold on the dark red on the railing.
I was wondering if
that's
that was
very-
dark red or the reddish brown.
It's dark
So
red.
it is dark red. Okay.
You got a bell up front. They do have a cat on the ship,
Of course, yeah.
an extremely large lantern hanging out the back here. So it's pretty ornate. It's pretty decent. Looks like parts lift off pretty well. Looks like brick built cannons.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool as well. So some cute little features on this. Definitely something I think I'll be interested in.
I definitely would take a look at it. Do we know what the price point is on this one yet? Or
We don't, but it's
okay.
4,000 pieces as it stands, which is sort of the top end.
Okay.
So we're looking at $300-ish probably,
Okay.
or more, 300 plus probably. But not bad. And then of course,
I'm definitely interested in it myself. I'm a ship enthusiast. I like the classic pirate theme. This is definitely a lot more detailed than some of the classic pirates that have been put out by Lego already. So this is interesting. I would definitely consider this. So
Yeah. Well, let's get the true expert's opinion. Mara, what do you think of this set?
Yes.
You like the cat. That's all you care about is that they have a cat.
Mara, what if they have the mustaches? Does that count?
I like the people.
You like the guys climbing up. Would you be a fan of the set if all of the pirates had mustaches? That's what Brick Dad wants. Yeah, she says that'll help. That'll definitely help.
But also,
We have a couple guests stopping in real quick.
All right. Oh, there's Brian. You got B-Dog in the house.
The others have run away because they're recovering from the show and need to freshen up.
Mark said he's probably
Okay.
going to go get on from his room.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Then we'll go to our last almost obligatory castle set, because you always have to have a castle set in these. And that would be this one, the Alchemist Shop. 2,126 pieces and one sticker. Mara does have an opinion about this one. What's
Another single sticker. Where could we possibly have a sticker?
right here? They got the apothecary
Okay.
symbol here on the sign.
my opinion is that the horse doesn't have eyes.
The horse doesn't have eyes. Yeah, this is clearly rendered. That is a little scary to have the horse with no eyes. I'm not disagreeing with you on
And
this.
why do they need the little pulley thing if their shop's right there?
Why do they need a pulley if the
Ma-
shop right there? What pulley are you talking about?
Mara, do you think this is a cute set?
No.
Would this work with other castle sets that your dad may have or build?
Do you think this would be good for my castle village, or do you think that this wouldn't go with it? Yeah, no. I think what I'll say about this is a couple things. It's the apothecary bottle on the top stuck into the roof is definitely a choice. It does make it stand out, but it is odd.
So you can't walk up there if it's like a
Um,
bottle?
So I guess I'd say that this is definitely inspired by or closely tied to the blacksmith shop. The other thing I'll say about it, and I don't know if this will start a rebellion. It reminds me very much of Funhole.
Okay. No.
I can see this as a Funhole set all day long.
Yeah, I can see a lot of similarities to that, and the roof structure line and
Yeah.
the appearance of it. Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's definitely a lot more whimsical and more fantasy than along the lines of the true medieval styling that we've seen in the past from the designers program.
Yeah, I think this has a very close DNA tie to the blacksmith shop for sure. Funhole did do an apothecary,
Yeah.
and it shares some design elements with this as well. Jesse's Brick Galaxy wants a potion shop. Sounds like it would fit perfectly in D&D, of course. So he's for this one as well. Let's get a look at some.
Well,
of the
that
other-
could be a direction that they're trying to push it, is more towards the D&D with the CMF line that just came out as well recently.
Yeah, could be. Looks like it comes off into sections. No surprise there. It has a hidden bookshelf chamber. What's your opinion, Mars?
Blah.
Blah. Mara gives it a blah. All right.
I'm sure I'm just going to be second in the comments, I'm sure.
I wonder. Oh, okay, so it's a folding cart design. So apparently you can flip the little handle here and rotate your potions inside the cart.
Okay, nice little play feature.
Yeah, it does have a second beakery thing on top of the wagon as well. So
Why does it have a spoon?
So we like potions stuck to stuff. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
they're big into potion stuck to stuff. Shelf mushroom, nightshade, lavender. So these are all the things apparently you need to create your brews.
The herbal garden for
The herbal
potions.
garden for the witch or whatever.
Got it. Okay.
Um,
Now, would you consider this in regards to the parts and pieces for this, or would this just be probably out of the price range in that respect?
this is definitely I think parts wise, a little over 2,000. If this came in at 150, which is what the blacksmith shop is, I think it would get some run. Of course, you have the limit to the 30,000 sets or whatever, unless they up or change the limit.
Yeah.
If it was over 150, I think it would be a bit of a harder sell for me. It's got decent colors, but the design's all right. I'm just not like thinking.
There's a big
I
potion
need
sticking
this,
out of the. There's a big potion sticking out of the roof of it. So yeah, it's
that's sort of. And I think it's if you're into or you want this whimsical look, that's great. The first thing I would want to do is take the potion out of the roof. But that's sort of a lot of the charm and character.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to do is throw it in a fire pit.
You'd want to throw it in a fire pit? That's the first thing you do.
Wow. Okay. Well, we will contact Sonic and we will make some s'mores with it.
Yeah, this is you don't want to burn Lego. The ABS plastic probably releases some toxin or something.
Yeah, that would be a black cloud of terrible.
And then throw everything away.
Okay. I don't think you should throw it away, Mars. Let's see here. Joshua says, I like it. Definitely has an elves vibe, like the blacksmith shop. Just not sure about the bulbous roof. Yeah, I don't know if is it the bulbous potion on the roof or just the roof in general. I don't mind sort of the exaggerated roof line. It's really just the potion that kind of makes me go, what?
Well, it definitely fits the vibe of the Snow White set for the whimsical aspect of it.
Yeah.
So
looks
if
like
you're...
We've got Medieval Hoodie Guy.
Oh, okay.
So we got that going for us. And we have a Wolfpack figure. They basically looks like they took the characters from the medieval market village, or medieval town square, and just
mix them up some.
Slapped them back in here. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's going to depend on the price for this as well. If I miss out on this one because I, sleep over the time limit or I just miss it, I'm probably not going to cry.
Yeah. I don't see this having the effect that the medieval sets from the last two runs will pull. I don't see this pulling it quite as quickly. I think it'll sell out with the limited run.
No question.
Yeah, but I just don't think it'll pop as quick.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the other thing about this too is this one is compared to the Fortuna is an actual rendering. And some of the colors are a little obnoxious here. I think they'll look better brick built than they do in these pictures, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see here. Alternate candidate says, I really like it, but feel I might like it more with a darker color palette. Yeah, that the nude color there in the front or the nougat color, I think it would be better if it was dark orange. And some of the roof tiling, the very top level on this ombre effect looks like it's bright green as opposed to regular green. But again, that could just be the rendering is so in your face that maybe that's
the gradation of the color on the roof. Definitely that bright green pops way too much for the theme of it.
But I guess we'll see. Like I said, it gives me a fun hole vibe, which is
I gotcha. Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I can see it. I actually the set that you're referencing from Fun Hole, I actually have it. I have not built it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing the similarities of what you're seeing in it, and I definitely agree with you on that. So,
yeah, I think it is called the Alchemist Shop or something.
The Alchemist shop. Or, yeah, I believe that's what it is. Exactly, Alchemist shop. So
And Funhole has now come out with a couple of other sets recently in the Castle line.
yeah, they've done
played
a medieval village with some other shops, a blacksmith as well. So
yeah. So here is the Funhole version of it.
yeah,
So it's not exactly the same, but it's definitely some similar DNA. The roof is the same green coloration. It's got a little garden where they're growing these various things. So if you cross this one with the blacksmith shop, you get what they ended up producing.
okay,
design.
yeah, I can see that.
So, and that's not necessarily bad. It's just going to depend on the price. So
Oh, for sure, for sure.
That's kind of how it goes. Mara, what do you think of the Funhole set down here? It has a cat. I do have this
I
one.
like the owl.
You like the
I
owl?
especially like the little tent.
You like the little tent with the fire?
I
Yeah.
watched you build it. He
Yeah.
has this set.
Yeah, I guess that the other draw here to the Funhole one. First of all, the figures are terrible. Right?
Yes.
And that's always going to be what
They are just
pushes
the
them
bell
down.
head and then the bodies and the sleeves, and yeah, they're not recommended figures.
Nothing good about them. And this is kind of what Lego is doing more than anything else to protect themselves. They're keeping that minifig alive. But here when you get the Funhole one, the price is generally lower and they have the lighting kits. So
Correct. Yes. Now,
it's just one of those things where
having built Funhole and then also used Lego modulars and other Lego builds and added lights to them, I can tell you that when it comes to the electrical and the lighting kits for them, they're fairly decent in what you're getting, and in that respect,
Yeah.
if you're considering it, price point definitely makes a big difference. But don't let that deter you from looking at the Lego set and saying, I want to stay brand on Lego.
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's always been the thing. Hoarder 66 here as well. Hello, Hoarder.
Hoarder.
We always kind of had that, pause where it's like, is this wrong? It feels wrong in some way. But,
for sure. Oh, yeah.
Based on sort of what we've seen in terms of the protections, the legal protections, it seems like they're legit. To that extent, they're not replicating the minifigures, which they know would get them in trouble with Lego.
Yeah.
And they're not stealing other people's designs, as far as we can tell. So there are a lot of positives on that end.
They are trying to stay original with what they do. They don't have a modular line. The way they do their modulars are completely different. I've been lucky to have a couple conversations with their designers, and they're specific about wanting to make sure that they stay independent, away from Lego IP on most of their stuff, to make sure that they're not crossing over, so that they can fill gaps where Lego doesn't feel the need at the time, at whatever time it is. So
yeah, so
there's
that's all positive.
Yeah, well, and they very much respect Lego, and they have a deep respect for Lego and what Lego's established, and they're trying to emulate that without stepping on toes.
Yeah, and they, the pieces are almost exact, minus the Lego logos on the top. They have
Correct.
They might have parts in colors that Lego doesn't have, and some of the parts that are still protected by a patent of some variety, they change, or at least change enough to try to avoid that. So I mean, they're definitely trying to be a Lego alternative, and still be as
they want to emphasize that they are Lego compatible.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Lego, but they are Lego compatible. So
all right. Well, we're at 1.5 hours, which means I think it's probably fair time to get started with March Madness.
Wait, should we just play a Mark bathroom break song just because?
I almost feel like we need to, and I don't have my bracket up yet, so I will pull it up. And you know what? We might as well play Mark's Gotta Go. Someone's probably got to go. Anyone who wants to can get themselves a bio break while we get ready for March
We're taking
Madness.
a Mark moment of preparation.
We are already down to the Elite Eight. The regular / real March Madness hasn't even put out their brackets yet. Selection Sunday's today, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe they have, or they are getting close to being able to put out their bracket. But we're already in our Elite Eight, of course. We only do this once a week, and we actually try to wrap it up in March, unlike March Madness, which doesn't. They just pretend that it's just March Madness.
Yes.
So we're gonna play Mark's Gotta Go, and then we'll get to the Elite Eight. Here we go.
A wise man once said about Mark, you think he drinks water like a great white shark. About every 60 minutes, he's gotta go. Nature calls 2, sometimes 3 times a show. Hold the stream, he'll shout and dash. The show is live, but he's off like a flash. Instead of telling him you hold the stream, Ben provides cover, the perfect team.
Yeah.
But let's get into some of the news. Do you need the bathroom break before we go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the bathroom break now, and then 40 minutes later, I have to take another bathroom break. Like,
First,
just like, hey, I made it 2 hours. Now it's like, well, now you're making up for lost time. So I'm gonna go. Oh, here's the right one, and I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Of course you are.
You're gonna go.
Why don't you start with those? Because unfortunately, I have to use the bathroom again already.
Cool, go do it.
What's it called? What's BPH?
BPH.
Ben plays a tune 2 minutes long, while the tainted sing along. Keeps the show rolling smooth, no rush. Mark mutes his mic so you can't hear the flush.
Mark is muted, so let me unmute him.
The reason I mute myself before I go is because I like to keep listening to what's going on, but I don't want everyone to hear me pee.
Yeah, I
It's been
managed
60 minutes since I last went, so I'll mute it and I'll be listening.
Fair enough. Yeah,
You'll be listening to me.
Hey, hey, Mark's gotta go. No interrupting the stream's flow. He'll be quick, won't take too long. He'll be done by the end of this song. Hey, hey, Mark's gotta go. Mark's gotta go. Hey, hey, Mark's gotta go.
All right, look who's here, Mr.
Oh,
Mark
hey.
Larson, Chief
What
Brick Officer of Brickworld himself.
What happened to the other man? There he is. Now we're
There
all
he
here.
is.
Yeah, I just
There he
needed a
is.
bathroom break for the first 90 minutes.
Yeah.
When
You've been
started
stuck
playing-
in there. Zipper problem.
When you guys started the song, I was actually in the bathroom, so appropriate.
Well, that's what we put to do. All right, we're getting our March Madness music going here. Mark, do you have enough screens to pull up the sets, or am I gonna have to try to like triple duty over here?
Let's go for it. I don't have enough screens to do it, but I'll just ride blind for a little while.
You'll do the best that you can for
Yep,
me. All right.
Yep.
Now, Ben, I have a question for you real quick before we get too started. You popped in last week for a brief few minutes. You were on vacation with the family and stuff, so we appreciate you joining us. But what's your feelings on the picks of what ended up happening last week, just as a recap?
It for the most part, I'm okay with it. I'm a little surprised that the Ninjago City set got eliminated. Not so much because people aren't disappointed about it overall, but still compared to the race car driver guy, it's kind of like, that felt like a referendum on how the pedigree had been besmirched to some degree by the Ninjago City line, and not whether or not this was a worse set than the silly race car driver.
Very fair. Very fair.
Outside of that, I think we're pretty much where I thought we'd be on a lot of these. But we'll keep going and see what happens.
Awesome.
And hear my staff talking through Brick Dad Build's microphone.
Hopefully they're not saying anything about Mark, or at least nothing that you can hear. But yeah, I think we're ready to rock and roll on this. Our number 1 seed going up against the number 3 seed, and I'm not surprised that our number 2 seed here got the boot by this next seed, and that is because I think having the 2 Technic supercars going against each other would kind of make for a bit of a boring region here. But we just finished Brickworld Indianapolis, and this is the Indy region, so perfect for starting here. Our first set is the Oracle Red Bull Racing F1 car, which is set 42206. It's 1,639 pieces for $230. Need that number again, Mark?
Nope, I got it. Thank you.
Perfect. And it is going up against our 3 seed. I will say, I also now have this set as my March release madness pickups. That would be the AT-AT driver helmet, set 75429. 730 pieces for $70.
All right, I got to share my screen part, so hold on one second.
All right, and this time I'm the one who's going to try to make the polls, because, why not?
All right,
I'll add the plucky commentary of what happened last week with the AT-AT and the Indy car on that poll, and a lot of it was we already had one that had already won and taken the place, so we were kind of looking at it of, well, do we really need another one moving forward? And then also the helmet itself with the printing and stickers that it comes with versus the enormous sticker sheets that come with the Indy cars.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right, so our 2 options are the Red Bull Supercar and the AT-AT driver helmet. I'll get the poll up here in a second here. This is interesting. I think a lot of people have a feeling about the number of F1 sets that have come out. We expressed some interesting thoughts about the pure number. This is also the fourth super car that they've done in the Technic line in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Though they've done how many Star Wars helmets, right? They're up to 10 Star Wars helmets.
Yeah,
so
this is the best lifestyle shot to ever exist from an F1 car for sure.
It's got that going
I
for
would
it.
say hands down the best lifestyle shot Lego's ever produced, in my personal opinion. Take a look at this guy.
Nice printing, nice color. It's a little more unique. I'm very curious to know what Mara thinks. Mara,
What?
of these 2 sets, the Red Bull racing car or the AT-AT driver? Which one? That one's not in. Sorry. Mara wanted to go with Parisian Paris Cafe. That has already been. Just these 2. Swear this. She wants them both to lose. Word from the ramp. Not feeling it. Right now, leading poll is actually the Red Bull Supercar. Only got 5 votes, but 3 are going for the Red Bull Supercar and only 2 for the AT-AT driver. So if you are feeling like the AT-AT helmet needs to get a vote, you need to get in there now because we probably only got about 1 minute left. Oh, we've got we had Super Inception there.
Brick Dad Builds, do you have a horse in this race?
My preference is probably going to be the AT-AT helmet. I think there's a legacy with the Star Wars line that the Indy doesn't necessarily have. So I think the legacy with this one and it's just its lifespan is probably going to be a better one, even as a standalone model. I think just
to your turned around books.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could definitely see this sitting on top of an urn of
Yeah.
to remember grandma or grandpa, or something like
next
that.
to your
But
keys, apparently.
yes,
Key for their supercar right there. They put it
That's
next
the
to
key to the stairs. That's how you get up through the plants and again turned around books that you've left on your stairs. Of course. Well, where else would you put them?
Yeah. And the silver
Well,
ball there sitting on top of the books.
having a little experience with some lighting kits, I could definitely see throwing in some nice red glow into this helmet to be very menacing in my entryway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good Good, good call. Right before you get up the stairs, right?
Exactly. And nightlight, if you will.
Yeah. Mara did change her mind. She did go with the AT-AT driver helmet. I'll tell you
Okay,
right
so-
now, the vote is 4 for the AT-AT driver helmet, 3 for the Red Bull supercar.
Interesting.
We are now at 3 minutes on the poll, so we're about ready to end.
There are aspects of the IndyCar that I do, of the F1 car that I do like. The engine and the build of it is just phenomenal as a Technic set. Just sellability of between the two, I definitely still have to stay with the AT-AT driver helmet.
Yeah, I think it's easier to display, among other things. And last year we had that Mercedes AMG supercar, and I liked that one better than this one for the colors, among a couple other things. So, I'm not sure that I'm gonna pick this one up. It's kind of, to me, it's like if you have one Technic supercar for F1, you have them all, but maybe not.
Well, if you put them on a Brickshell Case's wall frame, you should have several, because that is some pretty sexy way to display it. If you go over to Brickshell,
You do got that though.
And you could also, I've got a little old-fashioned oil can at home and a blank wooden frame. I think this is selling me on this. I would go for the Oracle just because I can finally get that trifecta of design sense. Brick That Builds, what were you saying?
I was just going to ask. I said I know the picture is a little off, but I'm wondering if it's kind of like the books where the print that's in it is actually turned around, so we can't see the print.
Yeah.
Kind of like the book page and the spines. It kind of is distracting for the model and being able to see that build.
Yeah, the regular painting and just painted over all of it with a tan color, so they're like, you can't see that. Jazzy Vikings Brick says, I can't tell you how many times I've lost my stair keys.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, kidding.
Now, if you had the AT-AT driver with lights in its head, lighting up where your keys were, you could come down at night, get your car keys, and go out without disturbing the rest of your family.
Yeah. Well, we are set to end the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The winner of the poll, Mara, tell me who won the poll.
It was the head.
AT-AT driver helmet at 62% to 37%. What happened to the extra 1%? We don't know.
Okay, so it wasn't a super close call, but it was a decent margin. Okay, that's good to know.
It's only a couple votes in this poll, but we've got our first Final Four set, and that's going to be in our Indy region. The AT-AT driver helmet. I'm not sure what Mark's doing stretching his leg there, but that's all right. We can move on.
Mark wanted to put a foot in the race, so.
All right. Here we go. Somebody sitting with me does have an opinion about this one here.
I would love to hear her opinion before we actually go to any polls.
Yeah. Let's take a look here at the now available dinosaur fossil T-Rex, which is set number 76968, 3,145 pieces, $250. And it is facing off against the number 2 seed, the Lilo and Stitch Beach House, which is set number 43268, 834 pieces for $90. It does have several minifigs.
I'm going to guess which one Mara's going for. I think she has a preference.
Orange spaceship?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, definitely not that. I think she has a preference for this one. Am I right, Mara?
Mara, is this the one you want to win? Right here, the T-Rex?
T-Rex is the worst thing in the whole world. It's even worse than that weird house.
Oh, I got it wrong?
Oh,
so Mara's voting for this.
She's going for the Stitch House, yeah?
Yes, you have.
So tell me what you like about the Stitch House.
First of all, I have it.
Okay.
Second of all, my positive same is just it's.
Yep. We do have this beautiful set from last year that some people think got robbed. It should have gone all the way. It did do well, but it didn't win.
Now, Mara, how do you think these figures in this new set?
And also, I love Stitch. And the Stitch minifigure is like a collectible because the head is like
Mara loves the Stitch minifigure.
And the doll.
And the creepy little doll. Yep.
Her name is Scrub.
Her name is Scrub.
And she has bug eggs implanted in her ears.
Scrub.
I want them.
Creepy little doll named
You
Scrub
guys-
may win this one.
All right, let's put our
So,
poll up.
Mara says,
T-Rex versus Stitch House.
Mara says this is the
But
stupidest
no
set to ever
Stitch
exist.
House.
There's a growing population of archaeologists out there that are interested in this set, though. So I think it has a leg in the
Are
race.
there?
I've talked to
Yep,
at least
you know what else
one.
You know what else it has? If you knock away this part of the foot, it has a ridiculously small T-Rex fossil underneath it that makes the scale of this make absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Don't mind the fact that I was typing quickly and it is the T-Res on the poll. It should be T-Rex.
T-Res in the house, baby.
But the
I don't know if
T-Res
that was
is
T-Rex has
currently
got Riz is what it
5
is.
Full votes. They're trouncing the Stitch House. Mara is not feeling it. She is not.
Oh,
happy.
no.
okay.
You are breaking Mara's heart, everybody.
I would
6
love to see in the
votes now for
comments
T-Res.
why are so many people looking at
Mara's
the T-Rex? Yeah, why are they what is exciting about the T-Rex for you in the comments? Let us know why.
And
The
and
T-Rex
let's
is
be honest though, like
enormous,
in
you know,
in real life, this T-Rex would actually trounce this house.
it would actually trample it
That is true.
Yeah, so it's
based
not
on
even
the
like
size.
it's not even a metaphor. It's just kind of like a literal interpretation of what's happening.
The
This
whole
guy's doing
Godzilla
all of it.
effect.
Someone has dropped a vote in for Stitch. Oh, we got a couple votes for Stitch now. We got 3 votes for Stitch.
Ooh, Dark
Mara's
Horse
making a
coming
little
back.
bit of a comeback. Can I
Wait, look
vote?
at
Now,
that
does-
scrub.
Unfortunately, I cannot. 'Cause
I have a question for Mara. Does she think these colors are accurate for the movie, for the house?
Yeah, Mara
Is this
spoke-
correct? And
So when they rebuild the house at the end, are these the right colors for the house, or does this look kind of funny?
The only wrong thing is the little circle on top. It had like a hole in between the house and things.
Okay.
But I think that would be kind of hard to build. So
Okay. What about the
colors
colors?
are
though?
pretty right.
Pretty good. She thinks they're
Yeah.
pretty good.
okay,
She's giving him a pass on
I
that
watch
one. Yeah.
movies like
Gabriel
10 times.
Cabral says the T-Rex is more displayable. I mean,
What does
that's
that mean?
that's partly true, but you got to find somewhere to put it because the thing's
that is
like
a massive
I
set.
mean, let's.
900 feet long.
That's a big suggestion. Let's see, where do you? Oh, that's where you put it, right in the middle of your desk.
Right in the middle of your desk. You can't do anything else on your
Top of
desk
your-
ever again.
on top of your journal, your giant journal. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
sketchbook, but it has.
Yeah.
There's no title on the binder, so God only knows. But yeah, I mean that's pretty displayable. Let's see where can we display the Stitch House on your kitchen table?
That's where ours is. Ours is
I-
on our kitchen table.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm eating cereal in the morning, I'm definitely sitting next to Stitch House with my cereal. So
1,000%. I feel like this is more displayable actually. Just to be fair.
Because it'll fit in like 100 more places.
well, yeah.
Whoa.
Like,
Al
what if I
says
don't even
Animal
have an
Costume.
office? What if I don't have an office? I have a kitchen table,
Yeah,
so I definitely could display that.
don't we all?
I definitely have a 2-shelf stand at the end of one of my rooms with a abstract painting leaning on it, and a totally blank spot in front of it,
Yeah.
and a ladder to
Let's
nowhere.
see. Sarah says
Probably
this was
stairs
a hard
behind you.
choice. I'm with you, Mara. She's voting for the Stitch House.
Sarah, who says that?
Sarah Durasset, who's apparently getting ready to have an organ.
Yes. Sarah Durasset, our hearts are with you tonight. Hopefully you're feeling well. I hear you're bored. And hopefully we're entertaining you.
Let's see. Gabriel says the Stitch House would look nice next to all of my other Disney models. All right.
Yeah.
Look at how happy
that's
that girl is playing with that. Playing with that set. Look at that. She loves
That-
Stitch.
that's
You
a
ever
kitchen
seen that
table.
Your child in your life.
Yeah.
Right. With your paper lantern with sakura flowers on a blue background.
Yeah. Well,
What else would you put next to it? Besides a bowl of cereal, obviously.
Don't end it.
Right?
Mara's begging me not to end the
Don't
poll,
end
but
it.
when we hit 5 minutes, we're going to have to end it. Right now, the
5
T-Res.
minutes.
Well, I mean, it's
T-Resi
it's
res.
the Elite Eight. We let it go a little longer.
Yep. I know.
So when we hit 5
Nothing.
minutes, we'll end it. Right now, the T-Res is got a pretty commanding lead at 67 to 33.
I did it again.
Okay, so all those Disney fans, if you're not voting, then you're going to be out of the race.
Chop.
Yeah.
Let them Jurassic Parkers win.
Yeah, little
Nick
spaceship
Fury's in
Cobra
this?
Bubbles. You know, Nick Fury, aka Cobra Bubbles.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, people. Vote for Lilo and Stitch. Like, you're breaking Ben's daughter's heart. Den's daughter.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whoever.
All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and the poll is ended. And T-Rez wins 66 to 33.
Okay,
Look at
so
how much-
so we get
Look how much.
I'm not mad,
Like,
but you know.
I am.
All right.
I'm so
Look at this.
disappointed in these people because how are you supposed to eat your cereal with this on your kitchen table?
right. It is going to
Oh,
eat your
it's
cereal
eating
for
the
you.
Yes. Rick Dad and I are on the same page.
You sure are.
That thing's chomping the
Man.
cereal whether you want it to or not.
Yeah.
Well, that is an upset for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this will definitely play into the final four coming down the road here of what's going to be up and what's not. So
Yeah. All right. We have a 1 versus 2 in the Grand Rapids, aka Art region as well.
ooh, this is going to be another one.
Leading off, we've got the Trevi Fountain at the number 1 seed. Some people say Van Gogh Sunflower should have been the number 1 seed, but hey, that's not the way the seeding went. Trevi Fountain is set number 21062.
Sure is.
It's 1,880 pieces for $160. The Van
God, the
Gogh
Bonahooms are
Sunflowers.
so loud. Go ahead. Sorry.
The Van Gogh Sunflowers is set number 31215. It's 2,615 pieces for $200.
All right.
Ooh, okay. Now this is the thing for me is we have white brick is so prolific already. Do we need more white brick or do we need yellow sunflowers?
Well,
Good question.
Mark has an opinion about yellow, and it's this.
Ooh.
Mark's not the biggest fan, and it's yellow and warm gold. Mark's 2 favorite colors.
Yeah.
Is there any
it's like
actual
a
yellow
rash.
in it or is it off yellows?
Good question.
Yeah, I'm a good friend of off yellows, but I do believe there's a lot of yellow in there. If I could get to my banners, I would explain that we do not discuss color in lifestyle shots. But you know what? I do think this area here on the bottom is yellow, and then there's some like cool yellow maybe in here. So the background I would say is the cool yellow. I think there's a lot of regular yellow in there. There's definitely a lot of warm gold, and so Barfarama on this. It looks very much like the actual sunflowers. Yay! But my vote would be for this if I was voting.
See, this is a very tough one for me because I'm an architectural fan. So the Trevi Fountain, I'm very passionate about that, and it's a great set. I think it's a very displayable set. Where at the same time, the sunflowers is a renowned painting that has a lot of history and a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people in the art community. Even if you're not a fan of yellow, the painting and the artwork of itself, and that history of it has a value. So, Mark, I know you are gonna. I know you're gonna lean towards the Trevi Fountain, but you have personal attachment to that as well, which is remarkable.
Sure.
Which I know lots of us would love to be able to do that. So that may play into this some, where having the sunflowers is something that I can actually have and hang on my wall that maybe I've seen in a gallery or as a reprint. Where the Trevi Fountain, it might be a pipe dream for people to visit and see it.
So fun fact, I was a big fan of the Trevi Fountain before I actually visited it. So it was more of a the visit was the was kind of a push for sure. But if I hadn't been there, I would imagine I'm still voting for the Trevi Fountain over the Van Gogh.
Yeah. So Al says that he can't go against his namesake.
Of course he can't. We know that. And if V Mac Attack wasn't driving back to Fort Wayne right now, he would probably also be voting for his namesake as well, since Vince and Al are not the same person. I was in the same room with both of them this weekend, and it turns out they are not.
They're not the same person. Yeah.
Different.
Nick and Bricks wants to get a handle on the price to part ratio, so we asked for the prices. Well, again, Trevi Fountain, 1,880 pieces for $160. And the Vincent van Gogh Sunflowers is 2,615 pieces for $200. So they're both under the magical 10-cent range. The Van Gogh appears to have a bit better value.
Is that helping him make
but
his
it's not.
decision there?
Yeah, it's not crazy different.
Yeah, what's the poll looking like? Spoiler alert.
Good question. The poll, which is open, has got Van Gogh in the lead. Van Gogh in the lead.
Now, Ben, what's your take on the Trevi Fountain as a parts set? Because obviously the yellow is very unusable in most types of builds. So
perfectly unusable in every build. Yeah, no, I mean here we've got a lot of the light blue tiles, which is popular use for water techniques. We've got a decent amount of white and the more nougaty nude color or the fleshy tone in here as well.
Nougaty nude.
And we have some rockwork.
Nougaty
parts.
nude.
The nougaty nude. So
nougaty nude.
Nougaty nude. So
Fun fact. I almost accidentally got nougaty nude because I don't see the stream. I'm just listening to you guys talk. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go down to the lobby soon, so I should change. So I was looking for my jogging pants, and I was like, oh, there's my shirt, and I almost literally took my shirt off on stream. Oh boy, which would be a legitimate thing if someone wanted to like post a story on Instagram about our stream being inappropriate because I stripped on it. That would be legitimate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that would be legit.
This is the Van Gogh.
Yep. So I mean, this is kind of what you're looking at. We've got two sort of single color or largely single color palettes here. We've got lots of white in one, lots of yellow in the other. Which one are you going to more likely to use if you're looking at it from a parts pack? You know, I don't know. Brickworld suggests that would be AFL After Dark for sure.
I will never do that. Sorry.
Gabriel says
I've got my OnlyFans page. You can find me there.
Yeah.
The closest we get is a tank top, and we'll stay with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see my pits every once in a while when I adjust something.
And the hairy shoulders.
Which is fine.
Can't stop that too. Did you get a brick that says Vincent on it?
That's a tile.
Yeah. You're right, a tile.
Now, I spoke with a couple builders this weekend in regards to the sunflowers, and they are somewhat put off by the build techniques in them, saying that they don't necessarily justify the flower aspect as well as they could have for the builds.
Okay.
That's a valid opinion.
Okay. We want to hear Mara's opinion. Mara, what do you think?
100%.
Stitch House. She still wants Stitch House. She wants Stitch House to come back.
Good answer.
And knock these two out.
My opinion for this is the whatever it's called.
The whatever it's called, the Trevi Fountain?
Yeah.
The white one or the sunflowers?
The white one.
Ooh, good water texture too.
The yellow one is.
The yellow one is bleh.
Yeah.
It says.
Which means barf.
Yeah.
Translated
so far,
to Mark, it's barf.
Unfortunately, the colors do resemble that, so that's a fair assessment.
A little bit. The Van Gogh is
like
just a touch ahead.
Now I can't look at it the same now.
Yeah.
Pour it all into a bucket together and see what happens. Right?
Nick and Brick says if money and space weren't an issue, though, I guess I would have the money, then you have the space. So, you know, I guess that's all true.
I've worked at a bar, and I've literally had to clean this up.
Yes.
You've cleaned this specific painting up.
Don't eat the noodles.
3 times.
Off the floor, yes. So
all right, guys, we are at 50-50 on the poll. We have hit 5 minutes. So you better scramble in and get your vote in, because the next vote is probably going to win it.
Now, I do have to ask, did Mara vote?
Mara can't vote because I'm logged in on the Brickworld account so I can post the polls.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're still.
If it does come down to a tie, I would not be opposed to allowing Mara to break the tie. For that reason.
I agree.
That could happen. Get Coop says hello.
Sorry.
Yep.
Hello, Coop.
Okay, we are ending the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Poll is ended. It came in at 50-50
50-50
tie. That means we are giving the tie-breaking vote to one Miss Mara. Mara, Trevi Fountain or Sunflowers? Who's moving on?
Stupid sunflowers lose.
The stupid sunflowers lose. So there we
Okay,
have
she said Stitch House is moving on. So
it. She did say that, yes. So the Trevi Fountain is going to move on. It was the
Okay.
number 1 seed for Grand Rapids. So it does just barely skip by on the narrowest of margins. So let's move over to our final region in the Elite Eight, and that would be the Fort Wayne region. Here's the bracket that's definitely been the most interesting in terms of the results.
this has definitely been a shocker bracket for me. The results are not where I expected them to be.
Yeah, the 4 seed and the 3 seed here, as 1 and 2 both knocked out. The 2 seed a bit questionable, maybe. It was probably the better of the 2 dragons, but the Ninjago City seemingly this was their region to lose, and they managed to do it last week. Seemed like a hard push from Sean.
That was a big upset. That was an upset.
Yeah. And we're getting a reminder from Get Coop to hit that like button.
Yes, please do.
Albert Goff says rigged. But here we have it. We've got the 2 sets in this region being the upscale racing driver minifig, which is set 40819, 694 pieces for $55. Facing off against the number 3 seed, Alloy and Varl versus Shellwalker and Sawtooth, which is set number 77037, which is 768 pieces, $45.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at these. We're going to start with the upscaled minifigure. Let me invite you all to experience a little bit of Inception. There we go. Here's the goofy ass upscaled racing driver minifigure. Now, by the way, Ben, my thing about this is it doesn't actually resemble any specific racing minifigure I remember seeing. I don't recognize necessarily this torso. I don't know why there's kind of a weird belly bulge or like belt. I don't know if this is where a racer has a belt. I don't know if that would be comfortable while driving. And in general,
actually, race suits in general actually have a Velcro belt that does come across the center. Yes, so it is reminiscent of an actual F1 fireproof racing suit, and I think that's the emphasis that they were going for with this figure was the F1 push in the Lego theme of Octane.
Well, why isn't it a Red Bull? Why is it Octane? I'm waiting for Joe Ellen to come up with a good, what's it called, modification of this to be a Christmas elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is for our final
old-timey racer.
Yeah, our final 4 set. You can say that.
Our final Elite 8 set? Or final for the final 4. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah, it'll be the final 4 spot. And here we've got the Horizon set, which is what I just called it on here, or the Horizon set. This is the Shellwalker and Sawtooth here. This one has a tremendous priced part ratio here. It's 768 pieces for only $45. I like the colors on this one quite a bit, and I know I'm not going to display the upscale race figure anywhere. But I'll tell you right now, the upscale racer doing well in our poll. A lot of people voting for that.
I don't think this has the. I don't think this theme. This theme doesn't have the support to be supported for all of the votes and stuff like that. Now, I think if you're a parts person, I think it has a lot of potential. But the theme of the Horizons line, I don't think it. I think it's been overshadowed by Fortnite and other games. This right here, these minifigures, I'm all about this for the prints and the molds for these. I think they're very usable and they're very unusual to most of the molds and stuff that we already have.
Okay.
Yeah, cool little cape cape piece there. I think, as we've seen too, that there are a number of other sets that they could produce. There's like a big T-Rex character and a few other things. The tall neck was hard to find when it first came out. So it feels like this will be or could be a good continuation if they do this. Al says he thinks they both suck. Harsh.
Okay, our poll seems to be showing us that there is a reason that Lego is not making more of these, and people seem to be into other themes, like they are this goofy ass upscale racing. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a market for these sets as they continue to make them. The best one, of course, being the Pirate one, which is only a Lego House exclusive, which I do believe is being discontinued this year, no longer available. But at least that's what I heard from one of my vendors today. Didn't even know it was still available. Anyway, apparently people are liking this because it beat Ninjago City Markets or whatever. The back alley.
There's definitely a line for these because you have the Harry Potter version of the Harry and Hermione, as well as the upscale Carl, if you will, as he's been nicknamed, which is the traditional minifigure, as well as the pirate. So this will be the 5th in the line, and I think it will continue. I think they'll put another theme out. Now, I would have preferred to seen this not necessarily as the racer that it is, but more of a classic racer or even a space figure. I think a space figure would have blown everything out of the water, just because of the color combinations that you could either produce or have for a space figure with this.
All right, Mara says she has an opinion here. Mara, which one do you like better?
What's up, Mara?
Stitch House. And second of all,
first of all, Stitch House. Yep. Second of all,
yes.
The little guy, and the big guy technically, and doesn't say on the box, I'm guessing, but his name is Bob.
Okay, Mara wants the racer's name to be Bob.
It is Bob.
It is Bob, she says.
Okay.
You like the racer better because his name is Bob?
Yep.
Okay.
Because the other set is stupid.
Because the other set is stupid.
Now, giant minifigure.
Now, Mara, would the racer be better if he had the mustache that you like for Dad? Would he be the more F1 racer?
Would the racer be better if he had the handlebar mustache? No. Interesting.
No, okay.
He's too young for that.
He's too young for that, she thinks. Yeah.
Okay.
Jesse says that the Horizon Go rings his Adora bell.
Right, I know. Totally. Let me get my walker.
We are at 5 minutes now. So we're going to end soon. We're at 50-50 again. It's dancing back and forth. 12 votes. So we might have to go into overtime with this one. We are at 5 minutes. I could give Mara the final vote again, but that'll be interesting. Jazzy Viking Brick says I agree. They should have done a classic Spaceman first. Well, I mean that kind of goes against their whole, super racing theme thing. If you don't want Mara to make the choice, you're going to have to vote here in the next 10 seconds. Or if you don't want Mara to choose, you can go with the upscale racer. But here we go. 10, 9,
8, 7, 6,
5, 4,
3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay, ended the poll at 50-50.
Oh boy.
So, just like we did before, we're going to let Mara choose. Mara, what are we going with?
The Horizon Adventures, you lose, suck it.
Suck it.
And also Stitch House should have won.
Wow. And she's still salty about Stitch House.
And,
yeah, dang.
There we have
Look
it.
At that. Yeah, we sure do.
At 50-50, we are going to move the upscale racer forward.
Okay.
And it's almost hard to believe that it's still in here, but it is.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm going to remove this and bring up our final 4 slides because we now have our final 4 set. So let me grab that here.
Do you need some time to put all that together?
I don't. I've been doing it while we've been moving.
Okay, good call.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this pays out next week with this final 4. to see where we go.
Yeah, me too. I am also looking forward to seeing how this pans out next week to see where we go.
All right.
Apt
So,
summary.
well, Mara, we're going to look at our final four now because we have them set.
Light show.
We did have
Light show.
that
Ooh.
that bracket that Mark was jumping the gun on last week.
I
getting
was.
to our final four slide.
Hey,
we
but
can look now.
I fixed it.
Yeah. Here we go. Indie region, AT-AT driver. Moving on. Holiday Joy. We got the T-Rex beating Stitch, which is not eliciting any sort of reaction from Mara.
None.
We've got the Trevi Fountain with just a little tiebreaker vote, and then a tiebreaker vote in Fort Wayne as well, going to the Spaceman. So here's our final four. March release
boy.
Madness.
Goofy ass race car driver is.
Yeah, it kind of feels
Never
like
mind.
the winner on the left half of the bracket's probably going to take this. Aberis is here to poo-poo the fact that both the Ferrari and the Technics are out.
Poo-poo indeed.
He's an F1 fan as well.
Yeah, Vince is not going to be happy when he wakes up.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll even be able to look Vince in the face.
I can't. He's way too tall.
That's an understatement for you, Mark.
I love standing next to him because it's just ludicrous.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Standing next to my own husband as well, but you know.
That's true too. Yes.
Yeah, there's that.
Hey, Mara, thanks for participating. Miles is going to come down for a minute, and you guys are going to swap.
Thank you, Mara.
Well, because if you're both here and neither of you can hear me, it's going to be chaos. You're already a little chaos, which I don't mind. Here comes Miles. All right, swap out with your brother so we can talk to him. Miles was in the Miles. Oh, nice. Miles just gave his little sister a basketball jersey that he got at the Timberwolves game tonight.
Aw.
So
That's
here's
cool.
Miles.
Well done, Miles.
He got. They finished 4th place in the state tourney today for 5th and 6th grade. And he's also wearing this cool wolf necklace that he got in. Were we in Sedona when you got this? In Page by the Grand Canyon. Oh, and Antelope Canyon, so out by Page, Arizona. So, actually made by the Navajo people. Necklace that he's a big fan of, and fixed by me after it broke. Yes. So how you doing today, Miles? Fine. How was the game? Did the Wolves win? They crushed the Jazz, so Miles is very happy with that today. So there it is, Miles. So what did you want to think about or chime in about our final four here for March Release Madness? Which of these 4 sets do you think is going to be our eventual champion? The AT-AT driver helmet, the big T-Rex fossil, the Grand Rapids region Trevi Fountain, or the Fort Wayne region upscale driver?
Either the holiday by one.
Yeah, Miles agrees. He thinks the left side of the bracket's got the leg up on this. But we'll see. Who knows? This is what happens with the brackets. Just not the F1 driver, he says. That's the only one he wants out of here.
Hey, we got to have an underdog somewhere.
Yeah, Miles is a big fan of the F1 sets in general. He's gotten a couple of the city F1 sets, so he's a fan as well. He does like cars and that kind of stuff. So we have the big truck that hauls a couple of the Indy cars, and then the pit stop.
Set his expectations that the chat seems to be against him with the choice of the scaled up minifigure, and even his own sister is the only reason that it's still in the competition.
Ben, question for Miles there. With the fact that he already has some of those F1 sets, does he see a desire for those larger display ones?
So you have the F1 City sets. What do you think? What did you think of the big Technic ones like these? Do you like those too, or are they kind of too much? Too much? Yeah, you like being able to play with them. They're more play than display, I think, for him. Bear says he's jealous of Miles' car collection. Sarah's happy that you hit fourth and that you got to go see the Timberwolves today. Rob asked how the show in Indy was. We did talk about that a little already, Rob. Rick Dad said, a good stream of people, some good displays. Seems like it was a good show. So,
yeah, agreed.
So that's excellent. All right, Miles, anything else you want to say?
Definitely a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
Just wanted to come and hang out for a minute.
Happy birthday.
Cool.
Happy birthday to Crunch. The Timberwolves mascot's birthday was today.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, Ben, is Miles a fan of his song yet?
Where they have like.
Yeah. Mark wants to know if you are a fan of the Miles Chagrin song yet.
No.
Still not, huh?
Still not.
Does the song at least have some Riz?
Yeah. Does the song have some Riz?
No.
No. It says no. No. All right. Well.
And the March Madness bracket was like a collection of games that rigged for Crunch.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense. All right. So Crunch's birthday apparently had a March Madness theme, and everything was rigged so Crunch would win on his birthday. And some people have said that this game here was rigged too, with the Indy cars being out and with the Fort Wayne region getting the racer all the way through. I mean, hey, the votes are what they are.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about that.
Just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, yeah.
All right, let's stop our rock music, which is still playing in the background, which is Mark's favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah, love it.
And we'll take a look at what we have left. We're at 2 hours and 16 minutes, and I thought we would do something else here, something called Extraordinary Animals, if you guys are in.
Yes. You know what I may do is come downstairs and join Brick Dad Builds in the booth, so that I'm around my staff. So I'm gonna duck out, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
If you can play a song for me in the meantime to
I haven't heard Peely Bone in a while. Have we?
Yeah.
Have we played Peely in a while?
We haven't. And last time when Mark was in Fort Wayne, I believe we got to experience a little bit of Peely Bone in one of the displays from some of the Tainted. So it does feel like a good Indiana type song. So here we go, a little Peely Bone.
A new Lego set, can't wait to see. Oh, it's Peely Bone, okay, what could it be? Half banana, half bone, it's a bonkers sight. Be it stupid or cute, it just doesn't seem right. Guts, oh, what it's like to behold little round splatters, stories untold. Is it a bruised banana or something else? How did Peely Bone end up on the shelves? A banana with a skeleton, what's the deal? A mashup too wild to find the appeal. He's not a doorbell, don't say ding dong. Every part of Peely Bone is just plain wrong. Don't say ding dong, don't say ding dong. Just plain wrong, just plain wrong. Don't say ding dong, don't say ding dong. Every part of Peely Bone is just plain wrong.
Okay, so Mark's apparently taken a little march. Hopefully he also took that opportunity to go off camera and change his clothes.
That's very possible. It's very possible. So yes.
Let's see. Z Spouse says Mar wanted me to add a comment. Long live Stitch House. It should have won. So there it is. Al says it was a great show, but he's glad it's over. Sarah says,
Al, it was. I'm just going to say it was wonderful to have Al there. Seeing his stuff in person was wonderful. And if you guys ever have the opportunity to meet Al and talk with him and see his builds, it's phenomenal to see them. And the fact that he actually has those in his home and they're like tangible displays 24/7. They don't get put in storage and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Sarah's going for trying to start a hashtag of bring back the Stitch House.
Bring back. Okay, Mara
Um,
would be behind that for sure.
Yes, that is definitely Mara's jam.
Hello.
She is 100% on the Stitch.
Pretty
There he
good.
is. Mark has
that way you
changed
can actually
into
hear.
his dog park uniform.
Yeah.
And here we go. So, okay, I'm curious if you guys know the answer to this. How many Creator 3-in-1 sets have been released in the last, I think, 4 years featuring
Dang
animals?
it. You just told me this the other day. 5?
No.
3-in-1
Yes.
creator animals.
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's a specific. I thought.
Fox.
Yeah.
The flamingo, giraffe, lion,
Tiger.
tiger,
Bear. Oh my.
pink, yeah, tiger. Bear. Was there a bear?
Did he say specifically pink?
No, I just in general.
Oh, the pink tiger.
the
The
pink
tiger
tiger,
butthole.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 7. Thinking because I
Right.
know there's at least 1 or 2 that I've missed.
So what if I told you there were 20? How would you feel about that?
No,
I feel like you were lying.
There are 20.
Seriously. All right. Let's see them.
Let me tell you what they are. They are
Some of these are
flamingo.
Yeah.
None of them are fake. I'm
Oh,
serious.
yeah.
Panda.
I don't always trust you serious. Dragon's not really an
Dragon.
animal. Okay.
It's a 3-in-1 creator animal. Look, we also have another dragony creature and like a phoenix. We got the spider.
Okay.
We've got the bunny.
The bunny.
There's
Spider's
actually another bunny
been
coming up.
Or
We
an
got the
arachnid.
kitten.
Yeah.
We've got the Pegasus. This was like a gift with purchase.
That's a
sort of,
statue, though. Is that an actual animal, or is it?
but it does come. You can do 2 more mythical creatures
Animals.
from it.
Okay.
We have sea animals.
I forgot to see animals.
I was going to say turtle. And I couldn't remember where I saw a turtle.
Peacock,
The peacock. Oh boy.
of course.
Favorite trivia.
Fox.
The fox. Yep. That was the first one Big Dad built says a T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
The
Giraffe. Good call on that.
And the lion was part of this 3-in-1. It wasn't its own set.
okay.
Oops. Okay.
Goofy looking dragon.
Uh-huh.
The tiger.
Little tiger.
Another set of sea animals, dolphin and turtle.
Okay.
This owl.
Owl. Parrot too. I forgot the parrot.
Magical unicorn.
Yeah.
The adorable
The
Stupid,
dogs.
adorable dogs. Yes.
The blue parrot. There was
oh,
also
yeah.
a pink one. I did
Yeah,
not
but-
include them both because they were,
Well-
the same.
So it's
It was a different variation of the same build, but yes.
yeah, but technically 21 then. Another
true.
bunny.
Yeah.
Another bunny,
Yeah, I got it.
and that's number 20.
Oh, I see what you did. Yeah, all right. You just
Okay.
didn't put the picture in. Yeah, wow.
So-
How about that?
So there are 20 of these things out there.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think it really started probably the real kickoff to kind of this new wave of good creator 3-in-1s was probably here, the Majestic Tiger.
The
Yeah.
bumhole tiger, yes.
I would say it's famous for a
majestic.
different reason. One specific kind of interesting, naughty reason.
Yeah.
Um, but since then, I think Lego's been mostly stepping up their game. Jazzy gives it Red Fox a Red
A
Fox,
fox
logo,
emoji.
yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. A logo? Okay, sure.
The extent and the quality of the alternative builds with them has stepped up.
No kidding.
So I think that's made a big difference of, yeah, you can buy this set to build this one, but the quality of the alternative builds with them has definitely stepped up. I think that's made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aberis says he saw a rebuild of the Tan Bunny into an alien space hunter. Ooh, I want that.
I do too.
I think that
Is it
that
is it on
backs up
Rebrickable?
its value. Yeah, it was on Rebrickable, Jace.
So that means it has instructions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
I've never been there.
We haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought maybe we could try to tier list these bad boys.
Oh boy. Okay.
S, A, B, C, D, and F. Let me pull that up here. Sharing the screen here. And I can pull them on over into the window. And we can go between the. It makes me unshare just to pull this up. That's nonsense.
Yeah, it started doing that with the last update.
That's no
Hey!
fun, Mark. I don't want that.
I may skip out a little bit just to go hang out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You okay
Mark
with that?
wants to go
Yeah.
say hi to his people.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I want to hang
right,
out for a minute.
So let me pull this up here.
I don't have a opinion.
We'll just,
at least at number
pretend
20.
it's a pee break. That's
A very long pee break
Yeah,
until next week. Okay, cool. All right.
you're good.
I say call me back in at the end.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's show weekend.
All right, everybody. So let's see where we can start with this. Let's start with the pink flamingo, since it's the first one in my build order here that I can drag over. Pink flamingo, it's a recent 3-in-1. It has some okay alternative builds. I'll bring up the bigger version here. It's got the cactus and the axolotl, which are both solid.
Now, are we going with this one as the primary or the most recent for that?
Well, I just happened to start with this one because it was the first one. That
Most
I pulled
recent.
up.
Oh, okay, cool. No, just checking.
Nothing too exciting about the order.
Okay.
But what is this? How does this rank for you? We definitely have to have at least one in every category, and there are a couple that I think we'll be able to do a little face-off with because they've done 2 bunnies, they've done 2 sea creatures, they've done 2 unicorns, they've done 2 dragons. So we definitely have some spots where we're going to be able to say, comparatively speaking, one's a lot stronger than the other.
Yeah.
But what do we think of this this latest addition here, the pink flamingo?
I think it has a lot of posability, being able to move the neck and the legs around a little bit more. So I think it has a lot of displayability in multiple scenarios. You have a shorter shelf. You can actually, reposition the neck down a little bit to have it a little smaller. Design-wise, it's kind of bland to me in the design. It's just very simple in the body structure. I don't see a lot of pizzazz in the feathering of it. So I think it's a decent design. The axolotl is that? Yeah, I think that
axolotl. Yeah,
axolotl. I think that is a better build out of it for the.
It was pretty cute too. I don't know
the interest of it
in color, but
the interest of it, of just the buildability of it. I think that would be a little more interesting.
Yeah.
So.
For the tainted, what are they thinking? I'm thinking that this is a solid but not perfect set. I'm probably thinking it's maybe a B or C tier.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was thinking C or D.
Okay, C or D. Wow, I think we got a couple that can definitely drop into the D tier that we'll talk about here in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, I think then maybe we'll split the difference. Go with the C tier for this one for now. And we can revisit if we have strong opinions at the end. So we'll put this guy down here in the C tier, and we'll move on to the panda. This set super cute.
Yes, I like this a lot. It has a lot of personality in the adult panda there, and I'm feeling very paternal for that parent, for that larger one.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about these, I'll say, is that all of the alternate builds are also a parent with a baby. And the other 2 builds of this are also pretty solid. We have the penguin one in particular. I think is really cute. So this is decent. It's got primarily 2 colors, black and white, but they do have some foliage as well. So I think this is definitely above the flamingo. I don't know that I would say S tier. I definitely think we've got 1 or 2 others that'll hit that, but maybe a high B or an A tier.
I would call this a B tier. I like the body positioning and the stance of it for the displayability and everything. Being able to see the paws on the bottom of the feet. So that mid B, high B would definitely be in there for me.
Yeah. All right, so let's drop him in here. And then let's move over to the mythical dragon. I'll say that the compared to the other dragon, and let me.
Oh yeah, compared to the more whimsical, playful, cartoony
this goofy thing.
dragon. Yeah.
This is leaps and bounds better. I think as a primary model, this is very solid. I don't know that I love the alternatives as a 3-in-1.
Okay.
But I did build this set, and I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I think that the face itself looks a little different in person than it does on the box art.
I haven't had the pleasure of building this one. So how's the posability on it though?
It's pretty good. The wings are all hinged, and they also have the click hinge with the rotation on it. The tail rotates. There is some flexibility in the neck too. I can actually go grab it if we want to see it. But it's pretty good. Let me go grab it.
Okay. Now, while he's doing that, Tainted, make sure you get your feelings in on this too, between the dragons, because obviously we'll grade the other one as well. But tell us what you think. If you've had this one, what were your opinions on it? Or would you want this one in comparison to some of the other 3-in-1s?
So we'll bring this up here. We'll go solo action on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I can find my cursor, there it is. So here it is. It's got full twistability on the upper part of the neck, and it can flex here, up and down. The wings are fully flexible. You can spread them out.
That's pretty good for being brick-built wings and everything. So that looks pretty good.
Question from Jazzy Viking Bricks is, can a minifig ride on it? I would say yes. It actually has a 2x2 opening there, right in the middle of the back. So it's well positioned to have someone ride it. Here we've got a interesting gold dragon-born minifig who's now riding it. So we've got kind of a bit of the
okay, I can see that
dragon riding the dragon.
So the playability of it is a lot stronger than some of the other 3-in-1s with minifig type scale and characters.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'd say this one's pretty good overall.
So would you say this is a B level or high C, low B, or?
I mean, it's not the Red Fox.
Oh, for sure.
It's still very good. Let's see here. The dragon is awesome. Just waiting for it to go 20% or better. Let's see here. Bear says, I'm hoping the new How to Train Your Dragon movie will deliver some official sets. Yeah, the last issue or the last hurdle for getting How to Train Your Dragon is the fact that Playmobil's had the license for that. And it's with DreamWorks. I don't know if that'll change, but that kind of limited the ability for Lego to get in on that. They might very well do it, but I don't know that DreamWorks and Lego have, hooked up the same way that Disney.
Be a lot of negotiations to be done before that could actually take place.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if I was going to give this thing a ranking, B tier, maybe A tier. I guess thinking about what else could be in the A tier, yeah, there's a couple that could still hit the A tier. So maybe the B tier.
Now, do you have the pictures for the alternate builds on this? Because that also helps me determine whether I'm going to give it a B or where. Because this is a 3-in-1, so the value of the alternate builds are important.
Yeah, so we've got this other kind of more Oriental dragon, Chinese dragon. I don't know what the description is there. Kind of the sea monster-y looking one that wiggle up into the air, and then like a phoenix.
Okay.
As the alternate builds, and they're okay. I wouldn't say they're great.
Okay. Now with the phoenix, is that like a reuse of the arms, or is it strictly the red?
And he's not really green at all. Like they don't really use much for.
That's a lot of pieces to leave out of a 3-in-1. So
it is. That's a good point. Maybe we'll slap this one down into the B tier for now.
Okay.
And
I would agree with that.
If we don't like it later. So we got another B tier. Red Dragon. All right. Let's skip forward a few to get to get a big highlight in here so we can see what an F tier might look like. And here it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, throw it down there. We don't even discuss
what is
it.
this thing?
Yeah, it's a cartoon in pieces that we don't need.
Yeah,
So
the colors are kind of hideous. Like nothing about this is appealing to me. The alternate builds are stupid. I don't know. I just don't like it.
I would take one of the VIP or insider birthday present ones over this in a heartbeat. So
yeah, this one's pretty terrible. So we're gonna finally fill something into our F tier, and it is this goofy tiny dragon. And I already have a thought as to what might belong in the D tier.
okay.
And that is this set here. The dolphin and turtle.
Okay, yeah. I like the idea of it. I don't think the execution was there whatsoever.
Well, and then we also got this kind of better version of that here.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is sort of to me like a D versus B type thing where we have probably what's in the D tier. Because at least, they look like what they're supposed to look like. They're still cutesy. The turtle's eyes are enormous.
When Wish.com actually designs a Lego set as opposed to the Lego set version. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I would say this is definitely a D.
Yeah.
The execution just wasn't there. The concept obviously could have been so much better, as it has already been demonstrated by the remake or the new version of the Sea Life. So
let's drop this one down here. The only thing that saves it from being F tier is that dragon is so much stupider.
True.
Honestly. And then, hey, S and A. Here are my two top choices here. Let's go with S.
Well, see, I've been very conservative with this as well. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. The alternate builds with the Red Fox is superior to most of the other sets.
No kidding.
I'm going to assume you're going to say, yeah.
The owl on this beats pretty much any of the main builds on almost all the rest of them. There are a couple that are close, but this is really strong.
Yeah, this 3-in-1 creator set is good enough that you would want to buy multiple sets so that you could have versions of each of those extra builds, the alternate builds. So you could have a fox, you could also have that owl. So yeah, definitely, I would agree with that.
This also won March Release Madness last year. That doesn't mean that none of these other 3-in-1s will be able to approach it because some of them simply weren't released in March. But this would be in my S tier. The other two that I think are close, and so we'll talk about those two next, have got to be this one here. I'm
going to throw this out there, and I'm going to say the second one is the tiger.
The tiger. Those will probably be my other two.
Yeah, I agree with you on those. Yeah, definitely.
So this one's got a very similar color palette to the Red Fox. It's not quite as good. But we have this. It also has the flamingo and the trees, nice little side builds, and the alternate builds on these are pretty good too. A gazelle and a lion.
Yeah.
So these are all pretty good. This is really a question of is this A tier or S tier? I'm sort of riding the fence on this. What do you think?
For me, I would have to probably bump it down to the A tier because, as I said when we were trying to name what the animal sets were, the lion set stood out to me just as much as the tiger did, or as the giraffe did. Yeah. So for me, I would have to say it's an A because I don't necessarily think I would buy this to build both the giraffe and the lion. I would probably buy it to build one or the other. Unlike the fox, where I would buy two sets to build the two sets.
The one thing I will note about the giraffe is they are phasing it out right now. One problem with the fox is you couldn't find it at like normie retail stores. It like wasn't in Walmart. It wasn't in Target, and I don't know why. It should have been.
Yeah, for sure.
But the giraffe is there now, and I've seen them in Targets recently for like $50-ish, so about $15 off their normal retail.
Okay.
So you're getting a better deal there. Still not necessarily buying 3 of these like I might for the Fox.
Yep,
But
I agree.
definitely some additional value there.
For sure.
Okay, so we'll A tier that bad boy, and then we'll talk about our last potential A tier before we get into some muck, and maybe there's a couple others that will elevate here, but the last one's got to be the Tiger. This one kind of kicked off, I would say, the 3-in-1 craze. Also very famous for the fact that it has a butthole.
Yes.
Whatever, just a lot of people noticed that. But this was sort of the first one that I think was...
It was very obligatory in the build and how it was noted. So
yeah, I cannot say that the alternative builds on this one are wonderful. The red panda's okay. The fish is okay. I wouldn't build either of them. This one's 100% on the Tiger. But the
I agree with you on
itself
that.
is fantastic. So that's kind of where we are.
And this would fall as a low A, high B for me. So I'm right on the line with that because of the alternate builds not being to the same par as the A or the S level.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's sort of straddling the fence. Because B might get a little more crowded, we'll put it in A now and revisit and see where we end up. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of our messier choices here.
Okay.
And let's start with the spider.
I'm not loving the color combination on this to exemplify the spider. The build looks good. If you were to take this and put this in a black and white picture, I probably would like it more if you took the color tones out of it the way it is.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what spider has this color combo. The alternate builds, I think the snake looks kind of terrible. The scorpion's okay, but I do have a problem with the fact that the scorpion only has 6 legs.
That could be a problem, yeah. Now, what's the piece count on this?
They have 8 legs. 153 pieces. I don't know if this is a $15 or a $20 set.
Okay. I think they did well for the piece count, but I don't think it hits high on the desirability. And it just the fact that it's a spider, a scorpion, and a snake, I think it has its own calling, but definitely not with me.
Yeah. I think for me, because the flamingos in the C tier, this is riding between C and D for me.
I agree.
So I think for now we're gonna put it down in D and then we can reevaluate.
Yeah, I agree.
Weighted in there.
It's a high D right now, but it definitely doesn't touch the flamingo, and the flamingo's on the high C side.
Yeah. Then we've got the tan rabbit. Now we have both a tan rabbit and a white rabbit. The tan one here has kind of got this. The alternate builds are like an alpaca / llama and like a seal pup.
Okay.
Which are both pretty decent. The white rabbit, on the other hand, had a cockatoo and a seal as well. So we got seals on both, but an alpaca on the other. This one's not nearly as weird with the pose. Like the newer one's pose is kind of strange to me.
Yeah.
So,
I would have to choose the white rabbit over this tan rabbit because the cockatiel build is actually a really nice build. It has a good form, and I like the feather composition of the cockatiel on it.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing that might save that tan rabbit is apparently the fact that you can build a face hugger out of it, because that's cool.
Okay.
But that's really all I have to say about that. Let's see, a couple of comments here that we missed here. Jazzy Viking Bricks has one of the sets in the Closet of Shame. I think it could have been the Fox set based on when we were talking about it. She also thought that the red dragon looked like Mushu from Mulan.
I can see that.
Let's see here. Brick Orphanage suggests that the owl and squirrel are pretty small too. Yeah, they're not all going to use all the parts, but they at least use a fair amount more than the Phoenix will on the dragon build, because that basically just uses the red parts, which is kind of weird. Let's see here. Built the spider. I like it, but hard to say better than a C. So I think we have it about the right spot. Suggestion on the spiders, maybe it's a leftover from the hidden side theme. Maybe. I don't know. It's not wonderful. So okay, the white rabbit and the tan rabbit. Frankly, I could stick them both in the same tier, but for the sake of breaking them up, I think maybe tan rabbit. Despite the face hugger factor, I definitely think that that's important to know for the future. I would put in the D tier, and I would
Yes.
elevate
Okay.
this rabbit to the C tier.
I agree with that. Yeah, I would put this white rabbit up into the C tier.
Okay. I keep making that a mistake here. Hold on. Okay. Click here. There it is. I was hanging out at the flamings. All right, so I'm gonna speed through a couple of these other ones that are just straight trash, and that would be this ridiculous purple owl. What the heck is this thing?
That has to be a fall Halloween complimentary to the spider, which I
Yeah.
think belongs down with the spider as well.
Yeah,
I've never seen a purple owl before, but then again, I've never seen a green dragon. But build wise, I don't see this being maybe a D, but I don't think so.
yeah. I think the big problem with this one, and then it's reading a storybook to like a wacky hedgehog, maybe. Is that what this is? I don't know.
Oh
The
yeah,
alternative
that's
builds, we have a purple squirrel and then a rabbit with hideously funny ears and whatever this thing's supposed to be, this purple thing here. I'm not sure. So not my favorite.
So how low are you thinking on this? Are you thinking a full F or?
Yeah, for now.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So
I think these ones that just are like absurdly colored are kind of problematic for me.
would you look at them and consider them as kind of just shelf fillers until some more sets came out later in the season or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where they are. They're not really, in my opinion, doing anything other than filling shelf space.
I agree.
Okay. So now let's.
Now, what are these other?
Yeah. Some of these that are a little harder to classify. I think these are sort of meat and potatoes, where I had a pretty good idea where they should go from the jump.
Okay.
Now we've got a couple that are sort of head scratchers. The first one I want to go to is going to be the peacock. I'm not sure what to say about this one. I know what they were going for, and if you remember in Lego Masters, Sam did that peacock that was kind of interesting.
Yep. I think this was more of an ode to that build, but like super scaled down to make it a shelf item. I don't think it hit the mark on it, but this would be a high D, low C for me. I think the flamingo is definitely better than this.
Yeah. And the only build that I see in the alternate one, the dragonfly looks okay, maybe, but none of the alternate builds are particularly good on this.
Yeah.
This is purely, I would buy this purely if I needed one of these pieces in a certain color.
I could see that, yeah.
That's it. That's the only reason to get it, in my opinion. And if that's the only reason you're getting it, I think maybe you're dropping it down.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that.
All right, so now let's take a look at this sea creature set here. So this one's definitely better than the other ugly sea creature set.
Yeah.
There's more variety. You can build a seahorse, a jellyfish, two other fish, a turtle, and a crab.
Now, I've seen this displayed well inside an aquarium type mock to give that aquarium type build, and it does have a good volume of body for a sea life diorama type look. Alternate builds on this?
So the alternate builds are also multiple fishes. They have like an octopus and a squid build as an alternative, and then another one that's several fish. So
Okay.
it really is kind of a
Meat
they
and
didn't
potatoes,
go
like you
outside
said.
that kind of realm. It's just more fish, more fish, more fish,
I gotcha.
which isn't necessarily bad. It's just not great.
It doesn't jump out at you. So yeah, I would say a C on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's crushing the other ridiculous sea life one.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, it's not top 10 for me. Okay. We've only got a couple left, and I'll say one of these I don't know what to do with at all. We have, I'm going to call it the double unicorns. So we have this unicorn, which is actually a Pegasus. This one I think was a gift with purchase.
Those are Fs. I'm gonna tell you right now, both of those are Fs. They're shelf fillers. So I'm not even gonna debate you on this. Yeah.
I don't know if they're worth distinguishing from each other. They're both.
I wouldn't. Yeah. This unicorn looks the exact same posture and everything as the one on the pedestal. So I don't see any difference between them other than they recolored this one slightly to say, let's make it another set. So, and I wouldn't buy either of these sets unless there was, like you said, a piece that I needed to complete another build or something like that.
Yeah. The only thing that, the gift with purchase one is that it has the pedestal. Maybe there's some parts in there you need, but that's about it.
I wouldn't go out of my way to buy a set to get the points needed to get the GWP, which was that.
Yeah. Okay. Now this one, we've got 4 left. And let's just hop to them real quick. Let's see if we got any comments since here. Nope, nothing new. That's cool. T-Rex. Alternate builds are a Triceratops and a Pterodactyl of some variety. What I will say this has going for it is olive green and dark green if you need those pieces. I think it was $60-ish, and it's 626 pieces. The T-Rex is definitely the strongest of the 3 designs. But yeah.
Now my son's actually received 3 of these as gifts, and he's enjoyed the buildability of them. And granted, we wouldn't go and pay for these other than maybe a single set because he does love dinosaurs. He's very into Jurassic Park, and I think this has the potential that it actually helped kick off the latest craze for the dinosaurs with this 3-in-1 build. Because this is 2 years old now, going on the 3rd year.
Yep.
So I would definitely look at this as I would put this up in the C.
Yeah,
I think it has the desirability.
It's kind of like here, right? Because
exactly.
The primary model is good. I don't think the secondary ones are great.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll drop it down and we'll see if we've been too harsh in our grading here in a minute. All right, let's get a look at these last 3. Okay, first of all, I have both the pink and the blue version of this.
Okay.
I haven't built either, but I do think the alternate models aren't bad. I like the frog, honestly. He probably doesn't use a lot of pieces, but I like him. The fish is a yawner. So even though I own it, this is maybe C tier and bump the T-Rex up to B tier, and that's kind of how I feel.
Okay. I can see that. This pairs well with the upscale pirate minifigure for displayability. So if you had the pirate, the parrot goes well with it.
You're one of the lucky few, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because of it is a very limited and hard to get set. But if you do nautical pirate or something like that, I could definitely see the parrot on a shelf with a ship build or something like that. The T-Rex, see this is a heart between the two. I could see bumping the T-Rex up because of its
Okay. I'll ask you. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I'm a dog person.
All right, so we'll start with the adorable ding dong dogs, which are these ones.
Oh yeah.
And the alternates are more ding dong adorable dogs.
Yeah.
So it's dogs, and more dogs.
Yeah. We've got an entire kennel in this box.
Yeah, and you've got the little goofy blue stuffy chew toy,
The dog bowl
the
and the
dog
ball.
bowl. All of the dogs kind of look stupid, if I'm being honest.
No, I
But,
agree with you.
you know, if you have an attachment to one of these dog breeds, maybe you're all about it. I don't know.
I think they did well at showing the different dog breeds and variation of styling. So I think that has a plus for it.
Yeah.
I know that would be something difficult to do with a cat because other than coloration, cats are hard to differentiate in style of cat.
Unless they're hairless.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that the alternate builds are continuations of dogs, just in different styles or breeds.
Yeah. Kind of limits it.
Yeah.
So is this looking at the comparables? Is this a C or a D? That's the only real question for me.
As much as I like dogs, this would be a high D, low C for me.
This is
because it doesn't have a lot of variety in it.
This is I would put this in D for dog.
Okay, we will go D for dog.
Because our last one, do we go
those
C
people
for
that are cat lovers, we're hoping C for cat.
That might be true because this set's actually not bad. So let me throw a couple things out here. First of all, tomato soup yarn ball, yes.
Nice, yeah.
Second of all, I love the whiskers.
That is a nice touch.
And the
and that actually stands out a lot more than with the dogs because the dogs didn't have that type of personality. This cat, you can see, has personality.
And its eyes, and he's got the little mouse toy. And the alternate builds are a pigeon. Some people love pigeons, Mike Tyson, and an adorable dog. And actually,
okay, see, there's a variety there, so I like that.
You know, I think the adorable dog here is just as adorable as any of the adorable dogs in the adorable dog set.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go C for cat.
I'll agree with that because
right,
I could actually get this set and still make the dog to compensate for not having the dog set. So I would be okay with that.
So what do we think of this? We've definitely got maybe not quite a perfect bell curve. Our F is a little heavy with these four sets, but let me be honest, they all deserve to be down there.
Yeah, they're there for a reason. So
yeah, I mean the only thing I see in D that's maybe worthy of a C, nothing. I mean the only thing I can think of is the rabbit if I was building the face, but that's it.
I would have a hard time bumping the tan rabbit up without bumping the white rabbit up as well because I don't see them in the same level.
Yeah, he's not B tier. So I think this is probably where it should be, everybody.
Now let's go back and revisit the flamingo real quick since we started there.
Yeah.
Do you still agree with the flamingo being a C build in comparison to where we're at with everything else? Because I want to give it a good fair shake. Because I know at the beginning you were talking a B level possibly with it. So I want to make sure that has a fair opportunity with where we're sitting on things.
Yeah, I think what's happened here is that as time has progressed on these, the alternate builds have gotten quite a bit better.
Very true.
And so if I'm comparing the flamingo to some of the older sets that had weak alternate builds, because I'm looking at the other things in C here, I don't think it's necessarily better than the cat, though.
Okay.
You know? So I'm kind of leaving it there, but I think it's
I'm sure we could go through and take each category and then break the category down from highs to lows. Yeah. So, but no, I agree with.
Yeah. Gabriel suggests that the tiger could be S tier. It had a great sideways building technique. It's very accurate to the animal, and the Lego community was buzzing about it for a long time. All those things are true, but I don't think the alternate builds are great as a 3-in-1. I think, like the giraffe, this is a great primary build, and not so great on the other 3-in-1 aspects versus the Fox, was kind of its own standard with the fact that all 3 models on that were wonderful.
Very true. I agree with that. Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
So I think it's right on the border, Gabriel. I totally agree that it kicked off sort of the new standard for what 3-in-1s should be. Because before this, they were in the animal sector, they were a ton of garbage. And they haven't perfected it, right? But you can see that with the way I pulled the box images, the older sets are the ones where I just have the box and not the main model in the box. Most of the older ones outside of the Tiger are C or lower.
Yeah.
So, I think they've definitely improved over time. And this year wasn't as good as the Fox year, but the Dragon's pretty good in the B tier. Panda's pretty good in the B tier. Adorable Cat's in a strong C. The Flamingo's in a strong C. So they're all kind of in the top half. Maybe a little bit of a miss with another bunny, because who needs, 10 bunnies and the spider set.
Yeah.
And that stupid red dragon.
Right. Yeah.
Papa Rex is checking in as well.
Completely.
And Jazzy saying hi. So there we have it, everybody. Our tier list. Got a little bit of debate in there, but overall, I think we were fairly aligned. Yeah, the Flamingo, maybe a bit of a mover and a shaker, but who knows?
Now, what was the part count on the Flamingo and the cat? The yarn ball cat.
Let's see. I can pull up the big pictures and I can tell you. The Flamingo, I think, is a $25 set, I want to say.
Okay.
And it is 288 pieces.
Okay.
I want to say the cat was like a $35 set, and it's 407.
Okay.
So I think they're priced about right.
Okay.
Maybe a touch on the high side. I guess I'd like them better if they were 20 and 30 versus 25 and 35. But
well, we're just gonna say we always like it if it's gonna be a little cheaper on every side. So
that's always true. But I'd take the cat or the Flamingo over any of the stuff below it for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely take either of those over the bunny or the peacock, or definitely.
And Mark was hoping for some. Jazzy says, "Mushu is not as bad as those trash unicorns." I mean, it's like not as bad, but still an F tier. Because then maybe I can go with you on that.
If you wanted to bump up Mushu, it needed a Mulan minifig.
Yeah, no kidding. Papa Rex is saying hi to everyone as well. Okay, so
hey, Bob.
You have we're at 3 hours. We did have some close calls. I think we can run through those quickly. See if Mark wants to do close calls.
Let me ask Mark. You want to do some close calls? Okay, he's coming for close calls.
All right, perfect. So Mark will be super interested in one of these close calls.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. One of them he won't care about. The other one.
Did I yell at you? I just said, so you watch my stream, huh? It was a question. Why is a question yelling?
We're going to see how interested you are in some of these close calls.
It's because I was being a dick. I know.
Rob Claxton, member for 8 months. Look at that, Rob.
Rob, thank you. Great to have you.
Yay. He should get a song request.
Yeah, if you want to be like Rob, you can like and subscribe as well and get some songs if you want to become a member and pick what you want. Okay, so while Rob's thinking about what he wants, let me ask you this close call. Bracketology, it's March, Selection Sunday. Mark's got some rabbit ears now from some super immature person, guessing it's Brian.
Good guess, it was Bonahum, yes.
Close call, do you always fill out a bracket or yay sports balls?
I'm in 2 brackets every year.
No, I'm not. I'm the opposite of that. I'm not a sports guy, so.
Family bracket, city bracket.
All right, so Mark's and I always fill one out. Brick Dad's and the yay.
So you went like a boxer in the Navy?
Yeah, I'm in the oddball, no ball.
Yeah, the no balls. I don't want any balls. I just want something else. So
it depends on
there. What
how late in life it is. What happened?
Mustaches over sports.
Are you starting to poll for this? Or are you just asking
You want
for
me to?
opinions?
Because I can.
That's what I've been doing, but I know how hard it is when you're hosting by yourself and no one else is on the controls. So
No, I can do it.
I'm on a cell phone. Come on, I'm doing my best.
actually, and your camera looks great.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if we do a lighting presentation with you, we should do it on this setup because it's better than your laptop, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, actually, my streaming service, my bandwidth is actually what makes the difference on that.
Oh,
So,
okay. That
yeah.
makes sense.
I'm way out in the country, so that makes a difference for me.
Let's
Yeah,
see
I've got
here.
bad cells.
Reed suggests it all depends on how the Badgers are playing. Blah.
Yeah.
Um,
They almost made it. They made it to the finals in 20. Wait, hold on. Let me think of this. 2014
years ago. Yeah.
No, it's more than a few years ago.
A few years ago.
It was like right after I moved back from California, so it's been quite a while.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with 2 votes, we're split right down the middle, 50-50, just now.
Well, you nailed it. Close call.
This is what we tried to do, right? Our
Yeah.
goal with close call.
No, you're
is
getting
to
it.
Not get way off on one. I'd say I fill out brackets sometimes, though
Every
I
year.
never know necessarily which 12 seed is going to upset which 6 seed or 7 seed.
Right. And you know what's funny? Last year is I was like, I don't like the chalk. And so I did my craziness for like the first half, and then at the second half it was probably a good lineup, but I was like, let's pretend, because it was my second bracket, my city bracket. I was like, let's pretend like it's all upsets, Elite 8 down. And so when we got to the Elite 8, I had a perfect bracket.
Yeah. And
then after that, I ended up in how many of us are in there? There's 8 of us. I ended up in 7th.
And they have the big bracket challenge where if you pick all the teams perfectly, you can win $1 million or whatever, and it's the odds of doing it are.
Apparently, I could have gotten there last year if I had just stuck to my instincts. I've never had a half perfect bracket.
Yeah. Gabriel says, I like pro sports, but no brackets for me. So right
it's a good
now,
call. It's hard to
6,
keep up with both.
Yeah, at 6 votes, we're split 4-2 in favor of brackets.
So definitely a close call.
Yeah, good. You are vindicated.
Yeah. We didn't hit 50-50, but that's okay. Now, Mark, I really want your opinion on this next one.
All right, I would love to give it to you. Oh my gosh, never mind.
Yeah, no, you're good.
We're still here. Hi.
Yeah, hello.
All right, here it is, Mark.
Yes.
Right approach for criticism. Do you let it roll off your back and take the high road, or do you get in the mud and go lower?
You know what?
Stop right here. Should we address grumpfluencers?
I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Get the vote first.
I've had a long life, so it's kind of like I went to school for acting, and it was all about they're basically trying to punch you in the nuts just to see if you'll grin back. So it's like, well, let me explain what that means. It's trying to get you used to constructive criticism versus feeling like you're being attacked.
Can you act through the criticism and continue forward?
It's like, can you make yourself emotionally vulnerable on stage and then have somebody tell you that you weren't being emotionally vulnerable correctly? When you're being when you're being that...
The tears came out of the
honest,
left eye. They needed to come out of both eyes.
That sort of thing. Or even when it's because comedy is harder than drama, 10 times harder. And so it was dying is easy, comedy is hard, somebody said. And so it's so you're constantly however many years I was there, 5, I think. It's 5 days a week you're getting, and then if you're rehearsing on weekends, it's sometimes 7 days a week where people are just constantly criticizing your job, giving you notes and telling you how to do better, telling you what you did great. But a lot of times it feels like when you get notes on a scene or a show, they're trying to fix things. So instead of telling you this was great and everything, all the great things you did, they're like, this needs to be this way, this needs to be that way, and not taking it personally and letting it roll off your back.
I actually experienced that today. I had a guest that came in and viewed my build and was very opinionated about it, and they had their feelings about it. And I was very receptive to that. But at the same time, you have to take that with a grain of salt and literally let it roll off your back, because this is your build. This is your expression of what it is. So what they say, while it has value, at the same time, you have to be able to say, okay, well, I need to continue forward with what I'm doing the way I'm doing this. So,
yeah. I mean, I think maybe from me, part of this was, what about if the criticism is wholly
I told you
unjustified?
I would.
There you go, Mark's got an opinion on that. If it's wholly unjustified and it's coming from somebody who you have no respect for, do you still just take it and move on, or do you
No. Here's what you do.
sling it back?
Yes, no, you kill them with kindness, because that's the thing about learning how to take constructive criticism. It's like it's just someone else's opinion, and so it's like they're giving your opinion, you accept it gracefully, and then you just completely discard it once they're done. And I do think that translates to
welcome to the next show.
Right. And then my second degree was art school, and like Brickworld Builds just said, like relating it to the Lego community, because we're artists, right? And so it's like people are going to give you constructive criticism, and sometimes they don't know how to be constructive, so it's going to come off insulting. They're going to be abrasive because they don't know how to give constructive criticism because they don't have practice at it. So it's like I would say, let's get down in the mud. I'll say I'm a 10%. Let's get down in the mud, especially if I'm tired.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It doesn't roll as easily off.
Oh, not at all.
90% the high road. If there happens to be some mud on the high road, you can spit it down to the low road, but you stay on the high road.
Fuck yeah, exactly. And you save those moments because sometimes you do need to just smack someone in the face and be like, "Shut the, you don't know what you're talking."
That's true. Yeah. So,
but those are rare, and the older I get, they become more and more rarer. What?
So Ben, how's the poll looking on this one?
Oh,
yeah, thank you. Good
it
question.
Is not a close call. Everyone says
not a close call. Okay.
You should take the high road. No one wants to get into the mud.
I agree.
I can say for a fact that I've been in the mud before, and it has now influenced me to want to take the high road.
Speaking of influence, I think like this would be an interesting one. Like, but if you wanted to like criticize someone back, would it be easier or harder if you could just shit post somebody on Instagram by posting a story that expires in 24 hours?
I would ask, would it be better to give the criticism privately in private of one-to-one,
have a respectful
or to do it publicly where everybody is hearing the criticism and seeing the criticism?
And maybe the person you're criticizing doesn't even know it's happening until a day later.
Exactly.
Hypothetically.
Well, it's all hypothetical. Okay, so we always go to a Lego question last. Do you Lego on vacation?
Well,
yes or no?
No, because I would like to say Mark Legoed this weekend, but it is a working weekend. It is not a vacation.
Yeah.
So it is a gray area for that.
Yeah, this was not a vacation.
Yes. So
the question is vacation, not travel.
You just took a vacation. You
Did
Legoed.
Lego? Yeah. Oh, we did.
You did Lego.
I mean, I live streamed a little bit on Sunday with you guys, and I did hunt down some minifigs.
Only because I was too drunk to run the bracket by myself.
Okay. I'm going to say you found Wolfpack minifigs. And if you're on the hunt for Lego, that is Legoing, because that's part of the job.
That's a good point. Because like Legoing, do you pack bricks in your suitcase so you can build while you're like staying at the resort?
Or do you find it while you're at the vacation spot to then have?
Well, if you're on a beach, yes, you do, because there's how many pounds of Lego that's been dumped in the sea, and the octopus is the most rare because
those octopuses.
Very true.
Those octopi, my friend.
Now, for me personally, I do
guess
Lego.
I'm a grammar jerk. Sorry.
I Lego on vacation.
Yeah.
It's a relaxing thing for me, and that's the whole point of the vacation. So being able to do that, so I will take a small set or find a small set there.
Yeah.
I'm notorious for finding the vending machines in airports to grab a set out of that can help de-stress me while I'm on vacation.
The notorious DVD. Oh, BDB. Brick that built. Yeah.
Yes.
Notorious BDB. So Ben, let me ask you a question. So Ben, when I went to Italy and I did my full photographic tours of the 2 Lego stores I went to, did I Lego on vacation?
I would say yes.
Then yes, I do.
Yeah.
Hands down, yeah.
And when I go to the family cabin, the in-law family cabin, we always do the Lego challenge. Right?
Yes.
Even if you take that off. Still
but that's like a tradition. But they want you to do this. I think that's part of this question is are you Legoing on vacation and your family does not want you to be doing that. Like, this is
Here's
a
the
tough
question.
one.
Here's the question. Ed.
Yeah.
Is Legoing with your family acceptable on vacation?
Ooh,
because if it's not
Ew.
acceptable with the family, then obviously it's not something that is a desirable thing.
So we just got constructive criticism from Brick Dad Builds. That should be the question on a future close call, because tonight's question is: do you Lego on vacation? Not is your family accepting
Not
of it?
should you Lego?
So
on
that's a
vacation.
deeper conversation than we're having tonight. Do you? I do.
Do you or
Do
should you?
Right. There's a difference, right? And then Ben. So all three of us do. What's the poll say?
JVB says going to sunny Las Vegas on Friday. Going to hit up the Lego store.
I'm sorry. Are you calling her JVB? Are you calling her JVB?
I am calling her JVB.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
All right.
That's,
I
I see a new song coming.
Notorious JVB.
Yeah.
Notorious BDB. Got it right that time.
Gabriel says if I drive, I bring my own, but if I'm flying, I buy a 3-in-1 set to keep myself busy with a small part count.
He said brings a small set with him.
Yeah.
Gabriel Cabral says brings a small set with him. I brought 5 sets with me to build live.
Yes.
I'm not
yes.
I'm not on vacation. This is not fun.
Well, see, a different aspect of Lego also is it's not necessarily going to be building. Like for me, I do travel Lego, so I have minifigures that I bring, and I actually do videos at locations with the minifigures to, one, show the minifigures at a location, and two, show the location. So I can tag people and say, hey, I did a Alien Travelers version on TikTok for a while, where every time I would go somewhere, I would take the Alien CMF and a modified version as a wife. And every time I would get on an airplane or something like that, I would do a bunch of photos of them traveling. So I kind of annotated my trip with them rather than taking pictures of traveling. So I did Lego on the vacation, even though I didn't build any.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, I sent you, I think, maybe one picture while I was on vacation. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, Sedona. Marguerite. Well, you don't drink, so I don't know what the drink was, but it had your.
It was my wife's probably.
Okay, but it had your not. What figure is it? Here, I'm going to bring it up and show it to Brick That Builds here, because of course I know.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's not a drink. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't send Mark those pictures.
There it is. That's not his sig figure. Oh, it's a wolf pack.
That's the Sedona picture of the wolf pack figure. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was a Wolfpack guy that I found in Sedona. They had a toy shop there that had a fresh box of minifigs. They were overpriced. They were, $7 instead of $5, but it was a brand new box. So I knew where all 3 Wolfpack guys were, and I just
Scan them
and build them out. And so I had to make sure that there's actually a Wolfpack guy in there, because sometimes people are sneaky and they replace them. Figured if one was in there, they were all good.
Nice.
But one of the boxes cracked open after I bought it, so I put it up on there. Copper Valor checking in at the last minute.
Hey, Copper Valor. What's up? So I am. I need to use the bathroom, and my staff is fading fast, so I want to get back to that.
That's cool,
you're back
man,
to me?
because
I'm all manic tonight. Are we
that
done?
was it. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Hey,
Mark having to go to the bathroom and get to staff is probably not a mistake, but a happy accident.
He pretty
look at
much
this.
knows
He
what
nailed
he's
it.
doing. Who is this guy?
I know, right? Not like the first time you co-hosted.
Yeah, I would
like,
say that you are right.
Is there any such thing as a happy accident? I was like, yes, there is.
I make one mistake and I learn from it.
Yes. So we will see you next Sunday.
Yes.
With the regular show.
Correct.
Mark and I back. I don't know.
What does regular mean?
We're both
regularly
in our normal locations.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Means we're going to do AI.
You probably will.
Probably will.
So Mark and I will talk about it. Maybe Brick Dad Builds will join us, because we've got the Final Four. Last year we did the Final Four and the championship in the same evening. I don't know if we'll do that or not.
I don't think so.
Maybe we won't.
March is young.
Yeah.
And March Madness hasn't even started because it's so freaking late this year.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. But of course, as Brick Dad Builds already pointed out,
Jesus
whether we
Christ.
do all 4 whether we do all 3 games next week or only 2. Is it a mistake? No, it would just be a happy accident. That's what our hero Bob Ross says. We are going to be ending our stream with a classic Blockoverse, not a song this week. So here we go, a little outro Blockoverse while Mark rallies the troops.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
I love the pink.
Brick Story, Dreamgirls cruise ship building toys playset, Creative Friends yacht building sets, 318 pieces, Girls City boat model building kit, Christmas birthday gift for kids ages 6 to 12. Let's check it out. It's also a Carnival cruise line. Oh, wait a minute. It's a Rival. Look at. All right. So we see. All right. Before I touch this picture, well, let's just go right there. It says Carnival here. What does this say? Carn Real. Right? Something crazy has been photoshopped already for 0 reason.
Yeah.
You can play with this set even if you're Siamese twins. Role play?
Yeah. Fair enough. Or room decoration.
With your glass vase of different colored straws.
Straws.
And they're bendy straws.
Well, duh. Why would you even? And I sure as hell hope they aren't paper straws. Okay.
I do too, actually.
Whether you love the environment or hate the environment,
you can hate paper straws and love the
paper
environment.
Straws are terrible, regardless.
No, they're garbage. Oh, look at that. What's that?
What's what? Okay.
What's behind the windshield?
What is behind the windshield?
Look.
No.
There's some weird ass minifigure in there.
How is that possible?
There's
they don't
2.
Have figures.
There's 2. It's like we're being invaded. It's just like we just made first contact with Blockoverse people. Can you not see it? How can
I can see him. I can see him.
You can see him now?
I can. He's like a mini doll.
Yeah, I think they're both
at the
women.
Steering wheel. And you're right. And then there's one back behind peeking its head out. But they only appear in that picture. I think that's the same picture, just rescaled, that they used in the lifestyle shop, the Siamese twins. So you can see him sort of there.
Oh my god, you're right. Look at that.
It's the same picture.
Siamese twins. We're making discoveries. This is why, like, physics research is important.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Lifestyle picture, Siamese twins. The girl on the left. The girl on the left, she's holding like a pen or maybe a detonator with a bright red light on the end.
She 100%
is. She's also in the bomb making business. Look at that.